All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another live stream. Awesome to see you guys here. Colton, Fear, Battle Chicken, Cellectra. Awesome to see you guys here. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I appreciate you guys. KHARN, the motherfucking betrayer. Yes, guys, he's finally won. Finally won the poll, and not even by a small amount. The rest of the options are pretty equal, you know, like 18, 19, 20%. And then fucking KHARN coming out there with like a 42 or something like that. Man, he fucking really stole that one. KHARN, guys, yes, we've seen him a little bit in the past in a couple of the other stories. For sure. This guy is fucking something else. He's pretty fucking crazy from the way I understand it. Master fucking duelist. Pretty sure, so he's obviously a world eater, if I recall, because he's got the nails in his head. And I think he eventually becomes a champion of chaos too, if I recall. Now, I could be wrong on that. I don't want to misspeak too early off the bat here. Obviously, we're going to see the full story of KHARN here by the Amber King, of course. Amber King making fantastic content, you know. I gotta say, give him credit right off the bat here. These Saturday streams obviously would not be the same without the Amber King. So of course, if you guys enjoy the video, obviously make sure you go over there. I got a link in the description. Click on that. Make sure you give it the love it deserves if you have not already. And yeah, we're going to get right into this one, I think. 2.5 hours long. Well, 2 hours long, 2.5 hours. Jesus Christ, I can't speak. And yeah, we're going to get right into this. Be noted, I do have, speaking of which, I do have both of my cats in my room currently. Now, one of my cats in my room. So the other one, he, you know, might start getting chatty. He might want out. So if I take him aside and do that, fucking no stress, you know what I'm saying? Just going to mention that might happen. But yeah, awesome to see you guys here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Big thank you to all of our members, of course, all of our Hastati, our Principes, of course, Hobbit and Dagenhart, and our Prefect Fear, of course. I appreciate you guys. You guys inspire me to make more content for you guys every single day, of course. And yeah, of course, if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe for more content if you aren't already subscribed, and come on down, join our Discord. Now, with all that plugging out of the way, now we can get right on to the video. We're going to make sure 1080p captions are, of course, on. I do have myself a slab of paper, and I got more over there if I need it. I got my pen. Everything's where it should be. Got my coffee. I'm actually low on water. We might need to fill that up halfway through the stream, but if we do, that's no bother. The tap is right there. Let's get it.
None shall ever surpass my count.
He has a rule on the hold on a sec, I want to read that real quick. He has a rule on the tabletop that if not fighting something, you have to kill one of your own units that is close to him. Really? What the fuck? So he's got like an SCP, like forever sleep effect, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck? That's crazy, bro. Holy shit. Oh my god. So KHARN is actually, so on the tabletop, he's actually quite the fucking, he's quite the menace, you know what I'm saying, by the sounds of it. I assume he's probably got to have, like, pretty good stats, too, as far as, like, a unit goes as well, right? Fuck. If somebody wants to send me a link, fucking send a link in the Discord or something at me, and maybe we'll take a look at his model afterwards, because that actually sounds interesting. I'd like to see that one. Can't stay for this one? That's okay. You have yourself a good day, Goop. We're going to get into it now. Sorry, I got to read the comments a little bit here, you know? KHARN doesn't care from whence the blood flows. No, he doesn't. That's very true. KHARN just wants blood.
None shall ever surpass my count, but I will not lose myself. If this is all that remains of the honor of the World Eaters, then I am glad to be called their betrayer.
Damn.
Blood,
the honor of the
and
World
pain,
Eaters.
and nothing more.
Immediately, my cat's crying. Hi there.
The anguish of the earth absolves our eyes, till beauty shines in all that we can see. War is our scourge, yet war has made us wise, and fighting for our freedom, we are free. Horror of wounds and anger at the foe, and loss of things desired, all these must pass. We are the Happy Legion.
The Happy Legion.
Time's but a golden wind that
Holy
shakes
shit.
the grass. There was an hour when we were loth to part, From life, we longed to share no less than others.
This is some poetry going on right here, man.
Claimed this heritage of heart.
God damn.
What need we more, my comrades and my brothers?
I have slain many enemies.
Kind of spat
and
right
won
there, I'm not
many
gonna lie.
battles.
Holy shit.
And I tell you, there is no great secret to success in war. No subtle trick of strategy that has saved my foes. I seek out the enemy, attack as soon as I am able, and with all the force at my command, rend his soldiers and smash his fortresses.
Wow.
Leave only corpses behind me, and then move on. Thus, my Primarch has taught me, and I find his wisdom.
I don't want to pause right in the middle of that quote, but yeah, I had to say, my Primarch has taught me. Obviously, the Primarch being Angron, bro. Yeah, that is totally like World Eater fucking class right there, let's say, you know what I'm saying? Just straight at the enemy, rend them completely useless right away, move on, keep going, you know what I'm saying? I will say the World Eaters, if they... Man, Angron just kind of fucking nerfs them, you know what I'm saying, with his strategic decisions. That's the problem. Otherwise, they are fucking monsters. Like, they are complete beasts on the battlefield. But, like, holy shit, like, Angron just makes very poor choices when it comes to, like, the overall well-being of the Legion and, you know, let's say, what exactly they do when it comes to, like, the time of the heresy, especially. I don't want to get too much into that, because this is obviously a KHARN video. But fuck, it's just obviously hard not to mention Angron alongside KHARN here.
And then move on.
Actually, hold on. Does my cat want to chew one out? Yeah, you do. There you go. Sorry, I heard him mewing. I'm not trying to, like, ignore him and, like, you know, also give attention to my computer, but, you know, he's very, very yappy. He's a very needy cat. If you've seen him, you know what I mean. But, yeah, let's keep going here.
His fortresses, leave only corpses behind me, and then move on. Thus, my Primarch has taught me, and I find his wisdom has proved worthy on 100 battlefields. The Betrayer, Centurion of the 12th Legion,
Oh, he's a Centurion.
leader of the Butcher Horde, and the champion of KHARN, the name that has struck fear into the hearts of the Imperium for over 10,000 years. A man who was once a respected
KHARN solo an
soldier in
Imperial ship by
Imperium's
himself?
armies,
What the fuck?
now spills oceans of blood in the name
What kind of
of
ship
his
was it?
dark
Like, what
god.
class was it, if
But
I might
how has
ask,
he
if you know?
become the living embodiment of rage and slaughter? What journey did he endure that has left this corrupted, hateful creature in his wake?
8th
The
Captain?
journey begins on Terra. It is the closing days of the 30th millennium, and the homeworld of humanity has been united under the leadership of the Emperor of mankind.
Right.
For millennia, humanity has spread to the stars, only for it all to crumble. The far-flung colonies of man, all separated by the age of strife, were alone in the darkness of space. But the dawn of a new age had come. The Emperor, a figure of immense power, wisdom, and will, has united Terra, bringing the divided city-states, techno-barbarian warlords, and various other polities under the Imperium of mankind. With a united world, the Emperor sought to unify the lost colonies of mankind under one banner, under one united species.
I'm going to pause here. I just want to make a prediction. I don't know exactly when this is going to take place, obviously. This is the first chapter. I wonder when KHARN actually comes about. Now, he's mentioning, like, the forming of Terra here, right? So has he been around since then? Or, like, the consolidation of Terra, I should say. So has he been around since then? Has he been around since the start? Now, that could obviously be wrong, but we're going to find out here. I just want to see where exactly we pop out here in the timeline.
Under one banner, under one united species, a civilization that will lead us back to our zenith.
He's old
The
school,
Great
okay.
Crusade. For this reconquest of the galaxy, the Emperor needed soldiers, and so crafted from his own genetics, he created 20 sons, his Primarchs. Superhuman demigod figures.
Well, we know-
and like
we
how
all know
they
about
were
that,
his
right?
Sons, he created sons for them, the Legiones
20 though.
Astartes.
Wink.
They shall be my finest warriors, these men who give of themselves to me, Like clay I shall mold them, and in the furnace of war I shall forge them. They
Badass
shall
quote
be
as
the
always.
iron will and steely sinew. In great armor I shall clad them, and with the mightiest weapons shall they be armed. They will be untouched by plague or disease. No sickness shall blight
Hey, Mitch
them.
J, how you doing?
They shall have such tactics,
21.
strategies, and machines that no foe will best them in battle. They are my bulwark against the terror. They are the
KHARN is
defenders of
Terraborn.
humanity.
Okay, wow.
They are my space marines, and they shall know no fear. For these vast armies...
Because that's what I was gonna say. Like, yeah, like I was wondering when exactly we came out in the timeline, but to know that he's actually like he's one of the fucking OGs, you know what I'm saying? So especially one of the OGs of the World Eaters, you know what I'm saying? So I wonder what exactly his opinion was on the nails, because I know they obviously had a pretty big revolt about all that. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a quelling, let's say. So well, he's alive clearly, so he had to have accepted them. But I wonder if he was like for them or not. You know, guess we'll find out. No one tell me. No one tell me. I don't want spoilers for like hours ahead. No, I know. I'm curious. You know, I'm asking.
Thousands of recruits were needed.
You know, that's.
And so across Terra, in their droves, young boys were offered a chance to go to the stars.
I feel like that might be spoilery.
To conquer the galaxy. Amongst these thousands was a young boy who would become the man, KHARN. Only those
KHARN
who
born during the last part of the unification of Terra
were worthy to be elevated.
Message
to
retracted. Thank you.
elite.
Appreciate that.
The young boy KHARN would leave everything he knew behind. Family and friends who loved him would never see him
No offense,
again.
of course, to anyone, but
He was
no spoilers. No
trained in
spoilers, please.
combat, educated with tactics and philosophies that would guide him through the galaxy. The imperial truth, the rejection of mysticism, and the enlightenment of science was poured into his adolescent brain. His temperament was acknowledged, and he was assigned to the legion that best melded with his personality, the 12th Legion, the Warhounds.
What does that say about you, man?
For their direct, ferocious nature.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what exactly does that say about you? Oh yeah, you're gonna get assigned to your legion based on your personality, and you just go to a fucking... Like, I know they're called the Warhounds right now. I'm actually gonna write that down, because I might genuinely... It might pass my mind, I'm embarrassed to say. Warhounds, right? But, like... What does that say about you as a person? Like, obviously the world eaters, what eventually they become fucking butchers. We see them as butchers. And I wonder if during this time period, if they're the same way, if they're the same, like, you know, if they're the same spirited as when Angron gets them, or if they are, you know, like, actually decent and maybe Angron changes them for the worse, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be very curious to see how that works.
The Warhounds.
Blood Angels were worse. Blood
Their
Angels were
direct,
definitely
ferocious nature.
very, very hard
As the
at the
boy
start.
KHARN
Yeah.
aged, he and the other neophytes were taken into dark gene labs below Terra. KHARN may have been afraid. He may have been excited. But as he lay on that cold steel table, it did not matter. Who he was before didn't matter. The memories, the faces of his previous life would all be gone in what happened next. KHARN was cut open. New organs grown from the gene seed of a Primarch were melded into his body. Chemicals and hormones flooded his veins. The pain would forever be one of the most excruciating things he would ever experience. He survived, though many of his comrades would not survive this process.
No.
The boy from Terra was dead, and who emerged was KHARN the Hastati.
So I wonder if during like this point as well, right? If during this point, right, when they're making all these initial Astartes, has the Emperor conquered any other like planets, like the moon, anything else at this point, or is this purely all Terraborn recruits at this point, right? Like, I wonder just what exactly his pool, quote unquote, of like recruits like looked like, what like his and other fellow initiates would have looked like as well. Whether they're all like, you know, Terraborn like techno savages still at this point, techno barbarians, or if they are like also from other like planets. Like I know like what was it? quite a few of the moons, right, had moon bodies around the solar system had colonization on them as well, and they got those first, right? Some of the noble families about to attack Luna. Okay, it's like the prelude to that. Okay, I got you. So no, like, no non-Terrans then, I guess you could say.
His body was scarred, but he healed quickly. When the adolescent KHARN awoke, he had changed in ways that were more than just physical. His mind became
some of the noble families. Gotcha.
Emotions such as fear, attraction, and sorrow were almost entirely purged. You can sometimes catch yourself in that mindset. That cold, calculating wave that envelops you. A feeling where you could accomplish anything with that apathetic iron will. KHARN and the other survivors were taken to the world of Bot. They would be the last recruits of the Legion from Terra, as the Great Crusade was beginning, and they would soon be spread to the corners of the galaxy. With their surgery scars still fresh, the recruits were put face to face with Centurion Gruner, a veteran of the Unification Wars on Terra. The figure before them was enormous, with bunched muscles.
Man, veteran of the Unification Wars, that guy's probably fucking killed a lot of people. I'm just gonna say that right now. That guy has fucking slayed. Like, actually, like, put meat on the table kind of thing. Like, so what? Definitely, like, a shitload of humans and probably the Thunder Warriors as well. You know what I'm saying? Amongst his kill count, like, how many? You know what I'm saying? And he's a Centurion. Fuck.
The figure before them was enormous, with bunched muscles, scars, and enhancement.
Jesus.
KHARN and the others were nervous, daunted by what lay in store. From a burlap sack at Gruner's hip, the Centurion produced an object and held it out reverently, a polished human skull. All legionaries compete in the contest. The rules are simple. First to reach 1,000 skulls wins.
Jesus.
One neophyte raised his hand, asking what would they win. Even KHARN raised his hand, asking where did they get the skulls from.
So you guys are saying, like, even the Blood Angels are still worse than this? Like still worse than this? I could believe it. Listen, I'm not saying it's not true. It's just like, holy shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, here, kids, you see this? You're gonna give me 1,000. I want 100 Nazi skill. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically is what that is. Holy shit. That's pretty radical, bro. These are like, you know, I guess what? These would probably be like teenagers at this point, right? Because they just got like their surgeries done. So they'd be like initiates, yeah. Much, much worse? Okay, damn. Fuck. We gotta check out a video about that then, like the early years of the Blood Angels, like see what they're all about, because I want to see how it like compares.
KHARN raised his hand, asking where did they get the skulls from. Gruner's howling
on everything
would be a humiliation KHARN would never forget, nor the lesson.
Blood Angels 5th Company were all Unification veterans. Fuck.
War is our scourge.
That'd be a beefy ass,
Yet
like,
war
training.
Has made us wise,
like,
and fighting for our freedom.
Company, I suppose, yeah. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word there. It's right there.
Found himself amongst brothers who enjoyed war. The feeling
I mean, all those veterans being able to train the newer recruits.
And the strength they wielded. The Legion's culture imprinted upon him heavily. As he grew and finally became a man, KHARN was a deadly instrument of war. He had been trained ruthlessly for years. Failure in battle was not tolerated.
No.
Surrender was literally never considered.
Literally.
And mercy to an enemy was a quick death to a worthy foe.
That's so fucked up given like what we know later on. Like, you know, failure is never an option kind of thing. We can't like ever fuck up. And then just to know that like Angron comes along and just like constantly tells them that they're fuck ups and they're never going to be like his kids. And like, that's just awesome to me, you know, in hindsight. Like, I guess
the lessons are
it's sad, but it's like, damn.
The heritage of heart of the 12th Legion was
it's hard to stomach.
They weren't scholars or priests. They were warriors. Men and boys were often taken from feral worlds during the Great Crusade, as only those with that inner flame were worthy. The Legion even had their own language, Nagra Kali, a way to bond the various recruits
That's
under
actually pretty
one
cool.
unified culture.
I've never heard of that
began
before.
to feel the wisdom of this way of life, a truth about brotherhood. That even if he liked or hated his fellow Hastatis, they were bound by the bond of brotherhood. They swore oaths to the Emperor and to each other.
Maybe I missed that before in other ones. I didn't realize that the World Eaters actually had their own like language that they spoke. Is this common for other legions to do this as well? I don't know. That's I mean, maybe I've heard about this, but is that? I don't think so. Maybe it just passed my mind or something like that. I'm gonna write that down right now, though. Just been listening. Babyface is back. Listen. Yeah, okay. You know, it happened, right? I apologize. Space Wolves, White Scars. Oh, really? Okay, damn. So a few of them do actually do it. Okay.
They swore oaths to the Emperor and to each other. An oath of moment. For those in our world who have seen war, they understand this unspoken bond that forms between men, putting their lives on the line. KHARN's brutal legion had formed him into the perfect soldier, but his skills in physical combat set him apart from his brothers. Favoring his chain axe, he was a beast on the battlefield.
Yeah.
His natural skills melding perfectly with his hot-blooded warhound temperament.
As far as a
As the
Space
years
Marine
of the
goes,
Great
this guy's a
Crusade
fucking
mounted,
monster.
KHARN went to war and fought on an untold number of battlefields against horrifying Xenos and non-compliant colonies of mankind.
Yeah.
With such a legion, only the strongest earned recognition. And with a tally of victories under his belt, KHARN was promoted to captain
Hey,
of the
Andrew, how you
8th
doing?
Assault Company, earning respect and recognition even outside of his legion. KHARN's almost primordial fury in battle, combined with his honorable, easy nature outside of it, meant that others loved this charismatic figure.
Oh.
He had friendships outside the legion, such as with Argyle Tal,
Yeah, that's right.
Gabriel Loken, Sigismund,
Yeah.
Jabal Khan, and Nasir Amit. Over decades,
It's very cool how he got around, right? Again, I didn't want to misspeak on all the names, but there you have it there. Yeah, man, no, fuck, that's awesome. Yeah, like, and that's the thing. People like some people disliked him more than others, but generally he got along with a lot of people. For a World Eater, that's a pretty like recognizable thing, you know? Because he basically went and like, you know, co-opted, he dueled a lot of fucking people, he sparred, he trained amongst a lot of other legions. And it's just awesome to see how much he got around, just like the impact he ended up having on the greater scale and the greater, like, you know, on the whole of things, we should say, right? Because he did do a lot, like technically, you know,
Sigismund,
not even technically, he still
Jabal
does do a
Khan,
lot.
And Nasir Amit. Over decades, KHARN had forged a bond with them.
I'm pretty sure he's still
through
going.
war,
No spoilers,
dueling
right?
and
I
fighting
want to see
beside
for
men,
myself. No
tapping
spoilers,
into
but
the
I'm pretty sure
world
he's still going,
unspoken
right?
Understanding that soldiers know. The Legion and KHARN were veterans of war. A legion with a strong martial
One of the most
condition
popular
and
Astartes of all
service to
legions,
the
yeah.
Emperor. But after decades,
Guy was just a
the news
god
came
in the
that they'd all
dueling
been
pits.
waiting for. The news that would change them forever. Their Primarch had been found.
Oh yeah. They finally found Angron. Now everything's gonna go sideways for the Legion. Yikes.
Angron was clutching at the metal tracery poking out through his mane.
Fast.
Our boy Siggy mentioned, yeah.
We move.
Fucking love Sigismund, man.
Fast. Not hanging between walls. Entrapment is death. Fast. Trust and discipline. Never rest. Always forwards. Hunger for the enemy. That's what they taught us. Oh, my brothers and sisters. Oh, if we had have known how it would end. We didn't know.
Angron fell to his knees and howled.
All that valor. The eaters of cities they called us. All the mountains' fastnesses burning like beacons. All the great coast painted in blood. We devoured Hosian with flames.
Yeah.
Mihor, Alcame.
Weeping and roaring, he leapt to his feet, oblivious to KHARN looking on.
We broke them at the river before Alcame. Hung 500 high riders and kin guard from the vine bridges. The princelings'
Fucking
heads
Angron just like
floating on
screaming
the
into
river,
the hull of the
down
ship.
to the lowlands as our heralds. The silver lace from their skull. Ripped from their skulls.
His friends were all also
Wrapped
amazing
on my
Marines. Yeah,
fists.
every single one of those was a
Furnace railing to
champion.
his back.
Simply.
KHARN thought to shuffle away and dismiss the idea. He would not hide from Angron any more than he would fight him, and Angron would find him anywhere in this room anyway. And no sooner had he finished that thought than he had been wrenched from the ground
This
by
motherfucker's
each
gonna
arm
kill me,
and
yeah.
swung over the Primarch's head to be slammed into the floor.
Oh my god.
Stone cracked under him.
They paid. They paid. We made them pay.
Angron
Daddy,
kicked KHARN
please.
across the floor, bellowing.
Paid for my brothers and sisters. Who will pay?
Dizzy.
This is
fainting,
KHARN being beaten.
KHARN felt
Yikes.
himself
Oh
picked up
no.
and slammed down again, kicked again, grabbed by the neck.
It's kind of fucked
Pay,
up.
Warhound. Pay.
Yeah, what's he gonna do
Fight
though in this
me.
situation? He's literally just,
Something.
he has
Fist,
to take it,
foot
pray.
crashed into his chest, and KHARN sprawled on the floor choking.
Get up and fight.
The end of it, then.
KHARN thought.
Well, I carried my embassy as well as a warhound could.
He tried to rise and couldn't, so he lay full length on his back and spoke weakly into the air.
You are my Primarch and my general, Lord Angron. I swore I would seek you out and follow you, and I will not fight you. And if I must die, then yours is the hand I will die by. I am KHARN, and I am loyal to your will.
While he waited,
Wow.
he faded from consciousness, then jerked back as his sister.
Not gonna lie, that's a pretty like badass way to like, if you're gonna go out, right? Like, he's still displaying like utmost loyalty to Angron, even though he's literally getting the the shit kicked out of him by Angron here. Like, Angron is basically just losing his fucking mind at this point. I'm assuming this is right after, like, you know, he got taken from his planet, because he's still like, you know, crying about the High Rider. I guess he always like mentions the High Riders still. He mentions his planet a lot, to be fair. But I'm assuming this is like right after, like right when they found him, kind of thing. He killed the previous 7 commanders before KHARN. That's right. I do remember that from the what was it, the Warrior Tier Angron video we checked out back a couple months ago. I think that was the first one we checked out for the very first Saturday live stream we did. And yeah, I'm actually recalling, yeah, that was KHARN, wasn't it? This is KHARN. Yeah, so he killed the other 7 that came in before him. That is so fucked up, bro. Send in the next, you know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do, though? What are you gonna do? Right after they find Angron. Yeah, that's right. I do recall that. Yeah. Fuck, man. Angron is such like a crazy motherfucker. Like, listen, I get it from his perspective here. Everything is fucked up right now from his perspective. Yeah, he just got yeeted from his planet and like told like, yeah, you're actually going to command this legion. You're going to like it. Have fun. And he basically just gets left, right? And now all these people keep coming into his fucking like private chambers and like, you know, oh yes, fucking Daddy Angron, what are your orders? What do you want us to do? And he's just like, get the fuck away from me. He kills them. And then they just keep doing this. And eventually, I guess KHARN comes in here. That's right. Yes. My memory has been jogged. Yeah.
While he waited, he faded from consciousness.
Also
then
the
jerked
butcher's
back
nails. That's true
as
too.
his system
Exactly.
shifted itself to rouse him, and the pain of his injury sharpened. He could not hear or see Angron, but he could feel the stone floor.
He's an
underneath
absolute
him
emotional
and the
wreck,
cool
plus the
air
nails.
in his lungs. When it came, Angron's voice was frighteningly close, almost by his ear.
You are warriors, KHARN.
Oh god.
The Primarch said.
I know warriors when I see them.
KHARN tried to answer, but pain rippled through his neck and chest when he tried to speak.
Bro, imagine just like, you know, fucking this guy just kicks the shit out of you. This is like your general, essentially, right? But it's basically his father is how he sees him, right? Beats the shit out of you. You pass out on the floor on your back, and then you wake up. You come to, you're like, oh god, I'm alive still. What's going on? And then right as you open your eyes, you just hear like fucking like literally like an inch from your fucking ear, like Angron just sprawled out on the floor beside you, whispering fucking sweet nothings into your ear. Like, bro, I'd shit myself. Like, what the fuck? Like, what is that shit? You just feel like breath just like on your neck. Like, oh god.
Answer, but pain rippled through his neck and chest when he tried to speak.
This Emperor.
Angron said.
It's like
palpably
spittle,
struggling
like
to
hitting
keep
like your
his
ear
voice
and shit.
level.
Like, oh.
He is the one you swore to. We swore to each other.
KHARN managed to get out.
In his name and on his banner.
His breath took a long time to come.
That we would not raise a hand against you.
Angron
Yeah.
said nothing for a time. KHARN's consciousness had begun to flicker again by the time he spoke.
Such.
They're not gonna fight him. They're very loyal.
Warriors.
Yeah.
His voice trailed off, faded, and returned. His hands were pressed to his head again.
A man who can. A man to whom your oaths. For him you would.
Minutes passed. Angron's voice came again.
This room. I can leave it.
It took KHARN a moment to work
Ironically
out how
enough,
to
as
answer.
KHARN is 8th league captain,
the
Corn's favorite
flagship
number is
of the
8. Oh
Warriors.
god.
Our greatest
Was
vessel.
that part of like keeping him
It is
alive?
the instrument of your will and yours to command, Primarch. As are we.
For a long time there was no answer, just quiet and dark. And just as KHARN was starting to feel his consciousness go again, he felt himself lifted, slowly and gently now, and carried through the dark.
Wow.
KHARN and the Warhounds had fought for decades.
That's actually kind of nice though, I'm not gonna lie. Like that's actually a moment of like clarity and peace for Angron to do something like that. That is pretty nuts, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't hear of him ever doing like a kind act like that or an act of kindness at all, you know what I'm saying? At least like after the nails, because it's just like physically to for any of them, I guess, in theory, to be able to do an act of kindness, it actually is just physically going to cause them pain. Anything that could cause them happiness, it's just going to fuck them. You know what I'm saying? It's going to absolutely just cause anguish on their brain and torment. So it's like the nails probably stop biting. Yeah, like, but I wonder, like, was he just thinking like murderous thoughts while doing that? Is that how he has to counteract it? Like, basically. Angron, act of kindness equal killed quickly. Yikes. Listening to work. How you doing, Anthrax? Good to see you here.
KHARN and the Warhounds had fought for decades on the front lines
He has to
of the
fight
Great
it back
Crusade.
every time, yeah, like
An
through gritted
unspoken
teeth, yeah.
jealousy lie under the skin of the 12th Legion. With the scattering of the Primarchs before the Great Crusade, the 20 legions were leaderless. Their gene fathers were ripped from
Rewind
the
and go 2
Imperial
times? That's fair,
side
that's fair.
and were scattered across the galaxy. As the Great Crusade expanded, they began to find these long-lost Primarchs. Each legion was reunited with
dropped my
their
pen.
true leader, the man responsible for their transformation. They were incredible demigod figures. KHARN felt an overwhelming reverence when he saw them. The aura, the prowess, the tactical genius. KHARN and the 12th, each time their fellow legions were reunited with their Primarchs, were jealous, and the anticipation grew for decades. Then the news came. Their father had been found on the world of Nuceria.
Right.
KHARN and his brothers must have been elated. The Emperor of Mankind
So happy.
teleported the Primarch aboard the Legionaries' flagship, the Conqueror. And then their joy
It's so
turned
fucked. I
to
feel bad
ash.
for the other 7,
Angron,
dude, that
the
died before
Primarch
KHARN.
of the 12th Legion,
'Cause those were
was
probably, like,
nothing
massive
like
veterans.
his brothers. When KHARN and his brothers looked upon him, they didn't feel that awe-inspiring presence. Their Primarch was the only one not to conquer his homeworld. Angron had been a slave, a gladiator who killed for sport. He was broken. On top of the Primarch's scalp was a cybernetic implant called the Butcher's Nails.
And I want to say too, that is like, that in itself, the fact that he wasn't like a person of interest necessarily, like he was, but not for the right reasons, right? Like he was a slave, he was a pit fighter, you know what I'm saying? He was, you know, he was put into gladiator rings, you know, and forced to kill a shitload of people instantly, for sport, for no money, for no like rank, I guess, let's say, besides like other than being a better slave than these slaves, you know what I'm saying? Like other Primarchs at least, excuse me, other Primarchs at least like seem to at least gain position with their hardships, you know what I'm saying? Angron never fucking got anywhere, and he had to stage a goddamn revolt himself after getting the nails put in his head for anything to even like seemingly happen. Otherwise he was fucked. He was gonna die, to be fair. Without the Emperor's intervention, yeah, he was probably dead, you know what I'm saying? Good chance of it. Like they were bearing down pretty hard on that mountainside, bro. Like it was looking pretty fucking bad for them. Hard to say, but the nails never stop ever. Every nanosecond they burn in his brain. Yeah, like he never gets a fucking break from it at all is the problem, right? Like, and that goes for all the world eaters, right? Like at a certain point, like them trying to do anything nice for even each other. And that's where it like starts to fall apart for me, right? Is because like when you're talking about camaraderie, especially on the battlefield, man, like you need to have a sense of like kindness, a sense of brotherhood. That's not to say they don't still have that with the nails, but it means that like when they're actively trying to help each other out, potentially that could be, you know, that could be a trigger for the nails. I could see that as, right? Which right away is going to discourage a certain level of not trust, not grit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's going to add an extra layer of difficulty to things, I feel like, within the ranks of a legion like that. I could be wrong, but that's how current KHARN has mastered the nails. He fantasizes about killing people when talking to them. Like, yeah, bro, like that's literally it. Like you just got to sit there and think about murdering somebody 24/7, even though you're trying to just be chill and like, you know, chill out, you know? But I'm pretty sure like modern KHARN is also just like a champion of chaos, right? So it's like, you know. Who else didn't conquer their homeworld? Yeah, like that's the thing, right? Like Angron is one of the few that really did not succeed in the grand scheme of things, right? Like he, in fact, like arguably what could be seen as a Primarch trial, right? And that is like conquering your homeworld, conquering maybe even your system under certain circumstances if the technology allows it, where the Primarch landed. You know, for some legions, for some Primarchs that was not legions, but for some Primarchs that was possible upon the Emperor's arrival. But for others, like even gaining their planet, that's a big deal. But Angron was not able to do any of that, right? Like Angron was straight up a slave until he got extracted from that fucking planet, like straight up, which is so rough, you know? He was not made for that world. The Eldar fucked him up and the nails finished the job. Yeah, exactly. Two other Primarchs didn't conquer their world. Yeah, honestly, yeah, that's true. Yeah. But it's like the case of like, out of those, I guess it would be what, 3 Primarchs total didn't conquer their world? So you got to think like out of like the majority, right? Like that did at least conquer their world or their system even. They went above and beyond, conquered their system. You know, it kind of shows like the failure rate of the Primarchs. It makes me think that when the Emperor came and took Angron off that world, I don't believe that Angron was a long-term solution for the Emperor. You know, he couldn't have been under any circumstances. I find it hard to believe, and in his current state, when the Emperor saw him, that he looked at this guy and said, yeah, I'll keep you around for a long time. He probably looked at him and said, yeah, you're going to be useful for a time. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of it. Mortarion too. See, I haven't seen Mortarion's video. He's been on the poll the last couple times. I don't know really anything about Mortarion, to be fair. Or Ferris. I don't know anything about... We haven't really checked out Ferris either. Damn. Abaddon has plot armor so dense that basically forms a black hole. Holy shit. Chat's popping off. I'm trying to read it all. We're going to keep going here, guys. We're going to keep going here.
Mark's scalp was a cybernetic implant called the Butcher's Nails. A horrific device.
Ferris the goat, Ferris next. Let me write that down before I forget. We gotta have Sight, we gotta have Kane on, right?
Only
and we gotta
the
have Ferris.
Subject pleasure.
Let me write both of them down.
When in the midst of blood-curdling combat. When the leadership of the Warhounds attempted to approach him, the Primarch tore them apart.
It's written down now. Both will be on the next poll, I promise. This time, guys, it'll happen.
The Great Crusade.
Apologies about that, by the way. I no salt. That was my bad.
As they attempted to reason with their broken bloodsire, the Legion was in limbo, and with most of its leadership dead, KHARN volunteered. Some of his brothers protested, wanting to die in his place, but a Warhound doesn't back down out of fear. As KHARN walked to his death, he remembered his fellow legions, their excitement and wonder as they met their father, and how he...
You know what, Fear, just to make it difficult for you, I'll also throw Ragnar on there as well.
Chamber,
how about that?
He was immediately set upon by a hulking figure that was Angron. He was beaten, his breath hammered out of his lungs as he was thrown around like a rag doll. Angron had been taken from his homeworld in the midst of a slave uprising. Angron Thalkir, they called him, Lord of the Red Sands, the greatest gladiator that world had ever known. His rebels, his eaters of cities, his fellow enslaved gladiatorial combatants, they had been his family, and he was ripped from their side.
Yeah.
As they prepared to make their last stand against their enslavers. Angron's sorrow, combined with the biting and twitching of his butcher's nails, made him an erratic brute.
And that's the thing too, right? And we've talked about this before. I think we talked about this on the original Angron video quite a bit. Yeah, like the fact that he was ripped from like his people, from his group, right? If the Emperor simply took him and his boys out, you know, at the same time that he took Angron out, all of this probably could have been avoided. There probably would have been a much more stable Angron within the Imperium if he got like his boys out, the people that he actually fought alongside, the people that he actually truly developed a bond with and cared about in the pits, right? Because again, unlike a lot of other, and this isn't to say other Primarchs had it easy by any means or weren't able to form a bond with their legion in other ways, but he was a slave, right? The bond that you get, I'm sure, being a slave in fighting pits is probably a lot different and a lot more enclosed. Like I could see how that could make you definitely an introvert for sure, as well as the fact that you have the fucking butcher's nails in your head as well, amplifying that effect as well. So I could definitely see how he would already be introverted in that way, to the point where like these people are just like, he doesn't give a shit about them. He's not going to give a shit about anyone else because the Emperor already fucked him over within 5 seconds of meeting him by not getting his boys out like that. You know what I'm saying? Big E fucked up big time. Like, yeah, it was a big fuck up. That was a big fuck up. Like, there could have been a much more stable, and like, think about how much easier he would have been to manipulate too, if he simply had just a little bit of trust in you. You know, like if that was what your goal was as the Emperor, even as to manipulate him. If, you know, and I'm not gonna sit here and claim to know what the Emperor was thinking with him, but like one or the other, right? Either have his trust or manipulate him. Both things could be achieved much, much easier if he already had a baseline trust in you, i.e. get his fucking boys out, literally, you know? It's a shame they won't be able to become Space Marines. Exactly, like those people were probably badass. They were all like fucking combat vetted, like fighting pit slaves. Like what more could you ask for if you want like efficient killing machines, efficient tools, quote unquote, right? Straight up. Elevated plenty of mortals into Astartes or into command positions. Angron didn't get the luxury for his pals. Yeah, it was a joke. And it was totally like within the realm of capability for the Emperor to do. He just didn't fucking do it. There's no reason to not do it even. Dare I say. Pseudo Space Marines? Well, still, like, you can still elevate them in a sense. You can still keep them around. They can still live to a ripe old age versus being fucking cut down like animals, basically, is what happened, right? And it was totally preventable. Agron's power before the nails was empathy, taking others' pains. We needed that. Yeah, like exactly. Like Angron, again, he was a decent guy up before the nails got put in his head. He really got like fucked by his planet, like plain and simple. It'd be interesting to see Angron, even if he didn't get the nails put in his head, how he would have turned out. Even if he was able to avoid that one tragedy, let's say, you're looking at a vastly different Angron right away. You know what I'm saying? Potentially. Right off the bat. Not even potentially. Like, they're just straight up he's a different Angron without the nails. Without that mental degradation, especially over time, yeah, absolutely. My life experience, that happens a lot. The smartest people are usually the dumbest too sometimes because they think they know everything. Dorian Heresy alternative universe. We see that. Oh yeah, I guess that is. Yeah, who was it that mentioned that to me? I think that might have been Dagenhart that mentioned that to me. Yeah, like the Dorian Heresy. It's like an alternative universe, like a what if kind of scenario, right? I've not really looked into any of those, but they seem really, really cool. I definitely should do that sometime. Because that seems awesome. Like, you know, like a what if, like Angron fucking actually, because he stays loyalist in that, right? If I recall. I could be wrong. For the nails, Angron was a very cool guy who took the suffering of others so they could sleep. Yeah, he was just like decent. He basically understood people a lot better. And when you put the nails in someone's head, it completely removes their ability to do that. So his Primarch ability is kind of like nullified in a sense. It's not nullified because he's still Angron. He's still a fucking badass, obviously. But like one of his big key traits is fucking turned off, you know? It's sad. It's very sad. Rebootian Heresy, bro. Yeah, like that's even like a cool what if. Like, what if the fucking the Imperium light that fucking Rebute fucking created? What if they just declared, like, what if the Emperor found out and just like straight up declared that fucking a rebellion? You know what I mean? Straight up, and he wasn't even trying to be like a traitor, but like that's what happened. That'd be some fuck shit, bro. That sounds awesome. Lionel Heresy is pretty cool too. Yeah. Oh, that sounds awesome too. Yeah. Lionel Johnson going fucking heretic, bro. I wonder what that looks like. Damn. And even the color schemes and shit too. Like how like the armor and shit would look as well, bro. That would look, yeah. Holy shit.
Twitching of his butcher's nails made him an erratic brute. As he was beaten to the ground, KHARN willed himself not to fight back. He was his Primarch. And
they all exist with lore and art. That's awesome to hear. I'll definitely have to check that out sometime.
Screamed at him to fight him. And as he prepared to end the captain of the 8th Company, he noticed something. KHARN was smiling. His pride in his brotherhood shone from the lips of the man on the edge of death. The Primarch's hesitation brought time for KHARN to speak. KHARN
sending you a few of the pics on Discord. Thank you, Fear. I appreciate that.
Spirit, his strength of will, and KHARN listened to his father. He learned of his story, of his eaters of cities, and of his traditions. KHARN, bloodied and on the edge of death, still showed his indomitable will and devotion to his Primarch and to his Emperor, and this reached his blood sire. You are warriors, KHARN. Such devotion from such warriors. It was KHARN that finally managed to bring the broken Primarch into the Legion.
That's what he says right now. Give it time, though.
Angron met with his Legion, accepting his role as Primarch. And as the roars filled the chamber, the Legion chanted a new name, birthed from the ashes of Nuceria. The Warhounds were dead. They were now the Eaters of Worlds.
Malcador was right. They should have been sisters. Was that actually a Malcador idea that he had? Is that true? If that's true, that's kind of nuts.
All our
lessons of strength.
Our will has the power to shape worlds.
Malcador was a Chad.
Yet
what the fuck?
It is kept in check, restrained by our beliefs.
That's kind of nuts. I didn't know that.
Everyone is made up by the events of their past. and it forms walls around one's spirit, or breaks such walls down.
Bro, could you imagine how fucking, like, listen, I'm not trying to, like, you know, say anything, right? But could you imagine how vastly different of a fucking Imperium it would be, bro, if, like, you know, all the Primarchs were female instead, you know? I feel like, listen, I feel like shit would get done, but potentially a lot slower. You know what I'm saying? No offense to any, you know, any of the female viewers out there. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I feel like just like, I don't know, what would that even look like, bro? What would that even look like? War would have come faster? Yeah, potentially. Bro, imagine like it's a heresy, but it's literally every fucking legion for themselves. It's just like a fucking free-for-all. That's what it would look like eventually. There'd be like, you know, 2 Primarchs like fucking like mingling together, like teaming up, but then one's gonna backstab the other because suddenly fucking this bitch was talking shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, kind of thing. No, you know, no offense. No offense to the one female. Yeah, listen. I'm not even gonna lie, the statistics on the channel, it's like a 97, 95%, yeah. 95 is like, you know, like the most it's ever been. Not 95% female viewership, 95% male, like 97 typically, yeah. So there's like maybe a 3%, you know. They exist, but it's very rare.
Walls around one's spirit, or breaks such walls down. The mind makes some powerless and gives strength to others. Because we are not ready to give up our ties or codes, we surrender ourselves. We become slaves to teachings and belief. That is why belief will always rule you. To truly believe in an ideal, you must be willing to betray it, to follow it so dogmatically.
I gotta say,
that
too,
is the lesson.
I feel like I say this every time. This guy has a really nice voice. Love that guy's voice, man.
Our inner will is powerful beyond measure, but it is the mental shackles we place upon ourselves that diminish strength. You know that sensation. When you push through your anxieties and fears, you feel like you are unstoppable, like nothing was out of grasp. You felt freedom.
Femhorse would be even more of a special snowflake. Yikes.
Having claimed this heritage of heart.
Oh my god, bro. I'm just trying to like picture it now.
KHARN and the Warhounds were galactic conquerors, basking in the freedom of strength.
I don't want to say shit, you know what I'm saying?
The mind makes some powerless. KHARN was the charismatic, brutal,
female Vulcan and Sanguinius to make half the Imperium fall to Slaanesh. That's facts.
He was weak when
that shit would be dangerous, let me tell you.
Following the ascension of Angron to the leadership of the newly consecrated World Eaters Legion, KHARN was named his equerry, his confidant. KHARN had shown his spirit to the Lord of the Red Sands, but many questioned the Primarch's choice. A Primarch's equerry was there to offer counsel to their Primarch, to offer
Femcorax and have me acting on what,
to
bro?
Be a balance to their nature.
Bro, a Femcorax, that would just be like the most like fucking like gothic fucking like girl you could ever think of, essentially. Like goth, you know what I'm saying? Fucking like completely pale skin, bro. Oof, you know what I'm saying? Yikes.
To offer new ways of thinking,
Colton,
and to be a balance
like the way
to
you
their
think.
nature. But KHARN was not his father's opposite. He was at times a mirror. KHARN would often simply be a supporter, never voicing his true opinions when it mattered. KHARN's jealousy of the other
Femcurs would run towards me and I would run towards her without any fear.
The connections they had to their lords.
Femcurs would fucking be a vampire, dude. That would be scary shit. That's like
fought by his
that's like the chick with baggage that you don't want to deal with.
Brotherhood with
you know what I'm saying?
And he wanted it with Angron. Like all
that shit would be
before him, Angron began to shape the Legion into his own image. The Lord of the Red Sands was a true warrior, a gladiator, and the way the Legion fought disgusted him. Angron began to form KHARN.
That's just my wife with extra steps. Oh man. Yikes! Hey, listen, man. You do you. I'm happy for you. At least you have a wife, bro. I can't complain. You know.
Would duel on the blood-soaked sands. He gave them the triumph rope, the tradition of scarring from the base of your spine around your torso, clean scars for victories, black, dirt-filled scars for losses. He taught them to bind their weapons to their arms with chains. He showed them how he despised weakness. KHARN and his brothers embraced these new traditions, each one bringing them closer to a worthy warrior in their father's eyes.
Send you the Lionel Heresy plus the female Primarchs? Okay, we'll check those out later, Fear. Thank you, I appreciate that.
Many others tied the
I do want to check those out, actually. It's not like...
They used the
it's not bad, is it?
Axe,
it better not be bad,
I
swear.
The cowardice of ranged weapon. But even after all this, Angron still called them weak and abandoned them for 2 years, running to a distant feral world in search of a worthy death that would reunite him with his lost Eaters of Cities. It was KHARN who tracked him down, again using that innate charisma to bring his Primarch into the fold, telling him his fallen brothers and sisters would be ashamed with what he had become, that he could still fight. He could show his legion how to shed their weaknesses. The words reached through, and Angron agreed.
Brothers and sisters.
Sometimes it is far too late to see the consequences of our own actions. To truly believe in an ideal, you must be willing to betray it.
No, I do got bad ones, so don't send those to me. Don't send those to me.
But KHARN was not willing to betray in his ideal of
my Discord fucking trunicated, you know what I'm saying?
The brotherhood he felt for his Primarch. Angron returns to the Legion to shed its weakness, but to him they didn't have that fury, that primal strength. They didn't have the nails. A warrior was only complete when he had the
gladiators from Angron's were brothers and sisters. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for pointing that out, Hobbit. When I heard brothers and sisters, I assumed he was talking about the Legion. I don't know why. He's referring to, like, your brothers and sisters back on your home planet would be ashamed if they saw you now. That makes a lot more sense. That I don't know why that fucking... Thank you. Yes, that makes a lot more sense.
Was only complete when he had the butcher's nails. The cybernetic implant that had been fused with the Primarch's brain as a child by his enslavers had caused him splitting headaches, pain, a dulling of any joy outside of adrenal-rushed combat. But yet, it turned Angron's rage into unstoppable primal fury, almost like a beast. KHARN and his brothers wanted to be worthy to their father.
Don't do it, KHARN.
From weakness, and so began the process of reverse engineering the nails
idiots.
And the implementation.
It's a mistake. Also, Latara, that girl was a world eater in all aspects, less the implants. True.
After volunteer succumbs to a violent madness.
I will say you definitely do get humans that definitely are, in all less regards, part of the Legion. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like what they do, what they provide, the support that they can provide, that type of deal. You do get people that are worthy, just regular humans that, you know, it's the honorary title of like brother, sister. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. I understand that for sure. Because, you know, like you're not in the Legion, but you're in the Legion. You know what I'm saying? Like you are. On paper, as far as anyone's concerned, tell them you're with us, we're going to beat the shit out of them, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Humans would outnumber Astartes 10-1. Yeah, that's true. Being eaten by Slaneshi demons sounds kinky. What the fuck? What is this chat devolved into? Uh-oh.
Volunteer after volunteer succumbed.
It only took mentioning the female Primarchs, guys. Come on now. Come on.
As Angron's orders of implanting crude copies of the butcher's nails failed.
I'm getting a blank.
Many were disgusted with what the Legion was becoming. Yet the Primarch's equerry was silent. But everything for the Legion changed upon the world of Gehenna. Angron's leadership had been a brutal reforging of the Legion. His disgust.
The chaos energy in here is too strong.
The Legion's tactics as well.
Everyone falls, so true.
Fought, the world had to be subjugated within 31 hours on penalty of decimation. 1 out of every 10 legionary will be beaten to death by his brothers.
And this was such a waste.
The world of Gehenna, the Legion engaged in a brutal conflict, and as they were about to break the world's final city, the 31st hour struck. Angron ordered the Legion back to their flagship to face decimation.
Bro, I mentioned this before too. The decimation that goes on in the fucking World Eaters Legion, man. Complete waste of like resources, complete waste of skilled legionaries, and for no other reason than you didn't take a planet. You took a planet in 32 hours, not 31. Get fucked. We're gonna kill a 10th of you right now. Like, and we're gonna keep doing that. That's the thing. Like, that's just such a fucking waste of like manpower. You know what I mean? I understand like, oh, there's gotta be like penalties for fucking disobedience. It's not even necessarily disobedience. It's not even really failure, bro. 31 hours is a great time, but if it takes 2 days, if it takes 48 hours, 2 days for an entire world's conquest, move on after that, bro, that's plenty good time. You know what I'm saying? That's decent. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing wrong with that. And maybe you take your little time, you take a little bit more time. Maybe you're a little bit more thorough. You know what I'm saying? You're a little bit more assertive, let's say, in that time frame. You can actually clamp down a little bit harder, maybe set up a little bit of infrastructure while you're there, kind of thing. Fuck. What's wrong with taking your time? You know what I'm saying? Take 2 days. Why has it got to be done in such a time period? And then you're going to kill a 10th of them, bro. I imagine, how many times did this happen? It's 10th upon a 10th upon a 10th upon a 10th. Like, this happens multiple times, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even like it just happens once and it's done with. Like, no, this is a purging of, like, great magnitude that does occur. I don't know. I can't support it. The strategic decisions of Angron, bro. It really does lead to the downfall of the World Eaters. It straight up does, you know?
Ordered the Legion back to their flagship.
That was Perturabo levels of wasted Marines? Yeah, bro.
Centurion
like, it's just... why do that? You know what I'm saying? It's just such a waste.
KHARN refused.
A Space Marine deserves to die in combat if they're gonna die at all, right? You don't just kill them just to kill them. As they take a knee and allow you to do it, it's not right.
I saw him murder swaths of his own sons.
Yeah.
Only the World Eaters librarians were able to eventually subdue Angron by putting him into an unconscious state, though several died.
Like, he just loses himself, yeah.
As the Legion argued,
you're losing library. Like, bro, that's such a fucking waste.
The apothecaries.
Such a fucking waste.
Would erupt the chaos into a war. Using technology gained from Gehenna, the apothecaries finally had a stable method of installing the butcher's nails.
And then I love how they like
the Legion.
And then I love like the World Eaters, because then they look at him do that type of shit, and then they're like, how can we be more like daddy so he'll love us? Like, essentially, you know what I'm saying? It's like, god damn it, bro. Like, look at him, he's not stable. Like, this isn't even Angron after that long, quote unquote, in theory. Like, it gets much, much worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, eventually, his mental degradation, it gets much, much worse. This is him, like, in his early stages of it, and he's already just, like, losing his mind. Fucking cutting through his own people like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's... God, why? Well, like, why would you want that for yourself, you know, for your Legion? It's not right. And Angron, eventually, he bitches them out because he's like, oh, I can't believe you take the nails. Like, you know, even though he kind of straight up tells them to eventually at a certain point. Like, he's just, I don't know. Angron, again, like, I know it's not his fault. I'm not blaming him for it, right? But to support him in his decisions is lunacy. Lunacy, you know what I'm saying? Lunacy at best.
Method of installing the butcher's nails throughout the Legion. The Legion split. Mago and others, horrified with...
I feel like you don't understand the connection, the bond between Astartes and their Primarchs. No, like, I get it, right? And that's why I understand why they would do it, right? But from like from this point of view, right? From like a narrator's perspective looking in on it, rather than like an Astartes perspective, lunacy to support them. From their perspective as a Space Marine, I can see why they would want to do that, because they want to be more like their father, obviously, right? They want to earn the respect of Angron. They want to please him. Currently, right now, to please him, they need to be conquering worlds in under 31 hours, right? And basically, that'll prevent a decimation and potentially Angron just losing his shit on the Legion as a whole, right? And wiping out librarians and people not associated with the actual invasion of the planet. That's besides the point. I can see why they would want to do it, right? But again, it's just like, fuck, like that is a hard sell. You know what I'm saying? It's a hard sell. Because like from their perspective, right, too, they look at him and like you know, they have to understand. And I think that's eventually why there was a split in the decision. Should we put the butcher's nails in our head? Should we not? There was such a big divide in the Legion, right, at that point. It's because it was just like, fuck, is this the right thing to do? And like, you know, a lot of them had doubts about it very clearly and obviously. And why wouldn't they, right? Like that's kind of, and like I can understand it from their point of view 100%. They believe they will finally connect with him the way the other Legion does with their Primarchs, if their nails in their brains. Yeah, that's the problem, right? Like they see like his impediment as the way forward, right? That's the problem, right? They see something that actively is inhibiting him as a way forward, but they don't, you know, they don't understand that it's inhibiting him in a sense, right? Which is, you know, it's very fucked up. It's very tragic at the end of the day. And, you know, I do understand it from their point of view. Like, don't think that I don't, because I absolutely do. But it is lunacy to support them from like an outside perspective, to see not to support them, quote unquote, like the world leaders as a whole, but to support Angron, what he's doing here, because he is just massacring his boys here for no good reason. That's essentially what it is, man. It's hard, you know, it's hard to see.
And others, horrified with the future this technology meant, attempted to destroy the Gehenna technology, only to find he was too late. KHARN had volunteered. Lying down again on that cold steel table, he was cut open. Part of his brain was taken away and replaced by the crude cyber augmetics. The pain was instant.
So KHARN was the first one to get this done as well.
Sensation
outside of Angron, obviously.
He felt dulled, but a cloud was inside his mind. He also felt angry, on the edge, like a ticking time bomb of fury. In your worst moments, you know that anger, the blood boiling heat rising within, your vision blurring, fists clenching, the hate. KHARN's butcher's nails only allowed the flow of dopamine and serotonin in that sliver of fury, making it the moment free of pain, making it addicting. 1,000 more brothers went through the process, and with this new force, they awakened their Primarch to confront Mago and his rebels.
We're just as angry as you now, Angron.
With KHARN.
Love me.
They were brothers. This path they were taking was madness. They were conquerors, not butchers. But something in KHARN had changed. He was shedding his weakness. He was becoming closer to his father. His
that's how they see it, man.
Were biting in his head.
It's brutal.
KHARN slew Mago, ending the rebellion and bringing the others back into the fold. KHARN the Warhound.
Like, see, there was like a faction within the world leaders that had doubts about
he had
it.
Just committed his first betrayal.
But that shit got shut down.
His loyalty to Angron was drowned in blood. What would his friends think? What would Sigismund, Argyltal, and Loken think?
They would vomit.
For the next decades, the Legion cut a bloody swath across the galaxy. KHARN had shed his weakness, but what it had cost him.
I've been awarded the nails, Daddy. PMS is a wink stain, oh god.
Or reflection. The Gehenna massacre became a trimming of the weakness within the Legion. A reverberation was sent through KHARN as a seeming line had been crossed. The legionaries began to become more depraved over the coming years.
Oh, absolutely.
The butcher's nails were hammered into all of them.
This is early
Blood
stages
drinking
depravity.
And vicious gladiatorial duels to the death emerged.
Hey now, blood drinking? That's not weird. Let's calm down a little bit here. Like, you know, you got the blood angel. Like, listen, it's not overtly weird. Come now. Like, let's calm down a little bit.
The contest of old, a once joke told by Gruner in KHARN's youth, had become all too real.
Hey Tetra, how you doing?
Himself, he had to follow this path, to shed weakness, to perform his duty to his Primarch. But KHARN was no fool, as he finally saw the beginning of the decay of Brotherhood.
Night of the Wolf. Which wolf, though? That's the question. Holy shit, Andrew.
Constant warfare and decades with the butcher's nails. KHARN was a veteran of the Great Crusade, a name spoken as one of the best combatants amongst the Legiones Astartes.
Yeah.
Millions argued over the names of legend, like KHARN, Sigismund, Sevatar, and Abaddon. Many spoke highly of the charismatic figure that stood beside the infamous Angron.
Who do you guys think would win between Sigismund, KHARN, and Abaddon there? Who do you guys think would actually win? Like, if we're talking like before, like, let's say any like chaos augmentation, anything like that. What do you guys think, like, power level? Like, who would be besting who kind of thing, you know? Because that's a tough fight. Sigismund, you guys think Sigismund? I think, honestly, I'd probably have to give it to Sigismund myself, to be completely honest. And that's not just because I'm a Templar fanboy, but because, you know, Sigismund is fucking pretty fucking OP. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be fair, like... Sevatar, he cheats. Honestly, yeah, deception and like fucking intrigue based combat, bro. If you ever play CK3 and you get intrigue and you're in personal duels, bro, doesn't matter how good your prowess is if you just fucking knife to hand slit their throat. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter, you know? Throw your fucking bags of coin at them and shit. Fuck it, yeah. You gotta fight dirty somehow. I mean, how does Erebus win his fights, quote unquote? He doesn't, but like, let's be honest here. Sevatar would see the future and just peace out, true? And he just nopes out of that shit.
Even the War Master Horus had been so impressed, he even gifted him a kill counter display for his visor.
Siggy hinted that this should be about even.
The 8th Assault Company was
he got annoyed at KHARN for holding back, true. I think I do recall that, actually, yeah.
Twitch and flare of discomfort on his face. The World Eaters had built
That's a fair point, actually.
A reputation of butchery and violence so disgusting that even other Astartes of other legions found it stomach-churning. KHARN's friends, Argyltal, Garviel Loken, Sigismund, Jubal, and Nasir Amit, what would they say of the state the Legion was in now? The actions of the World Eaters had not gone unnoticed. Orders came directly from the Emperor for Angron to halt his implantation of the Butcher's nails.
KHARN only went full kill mode in the pits once.
So-called father.
Bro, that is true. That is true. We did see how that went, and it was not a fucking fight. Let's be real here. That shit was not. That was not a fight. That was a fucking beating. Is what that was, bro. That was a whipping, like, plain and simple. Holy shit. The art's amazing. I have to admit, the illustrations, bro, I have to say 40K, and that's why I love the Discord, bro, because I do check out the Discord all the time. The illustrations you guys post there. Warhammer has some of the best illustrations, some of the best painting, some of the best, like, artistry, I have to say, that I've seen in, like, any, like, sci-fi fantasy, you know, like, that I've seen, straight up. Like, just such a dedicated fan base, and they produce such great fucking shit, animation work too, 3D modeling, that's all fantastic. But to like go back to its roots, which is like paint and brush, you know what I'm saying? I'll be honest, you know, I'll be the first to admit, you know, I'm not the best when it comes to art. But fuck, I appreciate it when I see it. And man, they got some of the best shit out there, straight up. Cold Rage KHARN is scary as fuck. He doesn't care, man. He literally doesn't care. He just beats ass. It's like, that's what I mean, because you see Sigismund, but then you see like KHARN absolutely just fucking annihilate. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, it's hard to like, it's really hard to like pinpoint power level, right? Like that's the thing. Like who would actually like theoretically be who? That's what nearly 40 years of 40k reading. Oh my god, I just had a stroke. That's what nearly 40 years of reading this lore does to us. True.
Nails, but the Primarch ignored his so-called father. The 12th Legion's warpath had become so mind-numbingly brutal that astropathic choirs could hear the screams of worlds slain, the pain of billions reverberating within the warp. Eventually, the World Eaters found themselves confronted by Lrmeka.
The astropaths are hearing the like screams of worlds die out, bro.
What a standoff. KHARN and his brothers stood before the Wolf King and felt that aura of majesty. This was a Primarch, and the sensation to kneel caught them all. Perhaps many wished their Primarch made them feel the same way. Russ told his brother to halt the surgeries. He was mutilating his sons, stealing their minds. But Angron didn't care. Who was he to morally grandstand after the things they had done?
That's
the Great
such
Crusade
bullshit, Angron.
Conquers the galaxy, burning and butchering worlds who simply wanted to be left alone. Angron said in front...
Like, bro, I usually don't support Russ. I'll be honest here, right? Like, I like them. Don't get me wrong. I like Russ, but like, I usually, you know, the things I've seen, especially with Magnus and shit, you know, it's hard for me to... I support Magnus. Listen, I'll be the first to say it, so I'm a little bit biased here. I'm a little bit biased. But, you know, I have to respect him here. He straight up comes up to Angron and says, bro, you're straight up, like, mutilating your boys. Why are you doing this to them? Like, look at the mess of your legion here. Like, you guys are just straight up killing shit. Like, we can hear you. My astropaths on my ship are coming to me with fucking, like, you know, human resource complaints, bro. Because of the fucking amount of strain you're putting on them, like, making them listen to that shit. Like, it's fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Like, please make it stop. Like, stop mutilating your kids, like, literally. He doesn't give a shit. Who am I to morally stand on the Grand Crusade? We kill worlds, we conquer all the time. What does it make sense what I do to my boys? Like, bro, and then and that's the thing with Angron, right? He mentally deteriorates to the point where it's just like, oh, you guys disappoint me because you guys chose to do it and I had no effect at all, like, on what you did. And it's just like, bro, you could have told them not to do it. Knowing the pain that you were in, you could have said, don't do it. Or you could have said, do it, right? You could have chose one. But the fact that he, like, Angron eventually does flip-flop between the two, that's what makes me think, fuck, bro. Like, it's hard, you know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to support Angron, you know? It's hard. And I get it. It's not him, right? Angron could be so, like, I'm sure he, as a person without the nails, is actually a fantastic, like, inside him lies a fantastic Primarch. It's just like, fuck, that impediment is so strong. It's such a bad impediment to be dealt. Russ was given the order, which was changed by Horus, who was still War Master. He followed what he was told. True, he did war crimes, but that means nothing in Warhammer. Like, yeah, listen, war crimes in Warhammer are like the fucking average Tuesday, bro. Like, that's nothing new, let's say. But, like, the way you commit them, right? Like, there's one thing to, like, mass genocide a planet quickly, okay? And then there's one thing to, like, torture and pillage and, like, actually just burn and kill shit that doesn't need to be killed, right? Which is what the World Eaters were doing. It wasn't just, like... Wasn't it the case, too, of, like, even compliant worlds? Like, the World Eaters arrived to, like, worlds that they showed up and they're like, fuck yeah, don't kill us. Like, we'll submit to Imperium rule. Didn't they still go in on them? I could be wrong. I don't want to misspeak, right? But didn't that actually still happen? So even in that case, it's like, fuck. Like, I could be wrong. Like, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to misspeak. I'm not trying to throw shade at the fucking, world eaters more than I already am if it's incorrect. You know what I'm saying? But, like, fuck.
Who simply wanted to be left alone. Angron said in front of KHARN and his brothers that all he had left in this world was the joy of spilling blood, courtesy of his nails. The Emperor to him was a tyrant, and perhaps he should take the slaving bastard's head. No one ever saw who fired the first shot. In the decades after, the World Eaters claimed it came from the Space Wolves line.
Of course
the
they did.
Space Wolves claimed the same of the 12th Legion.
I'm...
Without either Primarch giving an order, the two Space Marine legions fought. KHARN and the World Eaters butchers' nails bit immediately, and they threw themselves at their brother legion.
Now, I'm not trying to point blame here, but let's be honest here. Do you guys honestly think it was Angron or Russ's legion that fucking started this shit first? Because I'm much more privy to say it's the World Eaters that fucking ended up firing, bro. Again, they got the nails in their head. All you need is like a slight fucking like twitch, a slight like, aggressive looking stance, and these motherfuckers are going off the rails. You know what I'm saying? They're unstable. That's the problem. So I'm much more privy to believe it was an Alpha Legionary in disguise. Actually, that's actually kind of big brain. I didn't think of that. Unironically, that if anywhere an Alpha Legion plant would be, it would be right here. I'm just saying that's actually kind of true. I'm not gonna lie. That's big brain. Alpha does have people everywhere. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if ever there was going to be like a more obvious like Alpha Legionary like fucking, or an Alpha Legion like incursion, like infiltrate or like sabotage, this would be a pretty obvious indication of it, right? Because this is totally like a false flag operation at the end of the day, right? 100%. Yeah, that's actually kind of true. Big brain on that, actually. I usually don't go into the whole like it was Alfarius fucking like, Alpha Legion shit, but like that's actually good potential there, to be completely real. Hey Vass, how you doing? Both sides believe the other side fired first. Yeah, true.
KHARN.
I guess the World Eaters would be an easy blame.
Casualties were mounting.
But Alpha Legion does make sense there.
Battle, they lost sight of their Primarch. Angron had dueled Russ and won, but was completely surrounded. KHARN and his brothers were so lost to the fury, all sense of loyalty. With power comes great chaos. Very true. Evaporated. KHARN, Angron, and the Legion had been shown its weakness. A Primarch who spent his sons' lives like coin had created a legion with no loyalty.
Brutal.
The Emperor needed a weapon that would never obey its own desires before those of the Imperium. He needed a weapon that would never bite the hand that feeds. The World Eaters were not that weapon. We've all drawn blades purely for the sake of shedding blood. We've all felt the exaltation of winning a war that never needed to happen. We are not the tame, reliable pets the Emperor wanted. The wolves obey when we would not. The wolves can be trusted when we never could. They have a discipline we lack, because their passions are not aflame with the butcher's nails buzzing in the back of their skulls. The wolves will always come to
a Primarch who spent his sons like coins. Purdy did that every time. He just won. True.
They are tame.
That's the difference.
Collared by the Emperor.
Is it a success or not? Do you have anything to show for it or not?
But a wolf does not behave that way. Only a dog does. That is why we are the Eaters of Worlds, and the Warhounds no longer. KHARN had changed so much from KHARN the Warhound. You can imagine what he thought of himself now, in the wake of being shown the results of his Primarch's leadership. A cold ember that had been sparked decades ago began to grow. KHARN's resentment for what he was becoming.
Well, KHARN, I'm not trying to be a dick, but you
Emperor and his dog Leman Russ
kind of instantly killed the guy that was speaking up about all that.
The captain of the 8th Assault Company had once stood proudly side by side with his brothers, giving their oaths to each other and their emperor, the oath of moment. But that brotherhood was decaying. What stood now, after decades of Angron's leadership, was a disjointed band of murderers and butchers.
Pretty
Khan had
much.
seen what his father was all those years ago. He was holding on to hope that he would change,
What?
that he would become like his brothers. But Angron was still the brutal, bitter, uncaring savage that came from the red sands of Nuceria.
See, that's my problem. Like, he'll change, guys. He'll change. If we become more like him, he'll change to become like us. No, bro. Like, you can't give, like, you're giving into him and then expecting him to be more like you. Like, that's the problem, right? Like, it doesn't work like that. You know, you gotta, like, you gotta fucking, like, show him he's gotta be more like you by not giving into him. Like, what's wrong with him? But it's, oh man, that's so backwards, is what it is. Awesome armor. I will say that again, this illustration looks fucking badass. That shit does look cool as fuck. Straight up, like, there's no other way to put it. Like, that does look badass. I like kind of like the muscle shirt style armor. You know what I'm saying? Where he's got his arms exposed still. Looks very badass. Looks very like gladiator-esque, like showing his roots. You know what I'm saying?
The Emperor knew what his Primarch was, and yet he didn't intervene. The Emperor heard the reports of the massacres, and didn't intervene. He heard of the butcher's nails, but he only sent a
Angron's a hypocrite, but it's understandable why he is. Yeah,
terror.
I guess so.
Khan's
It's the
legion
mental
was beginning
degradation
to
that comes
fall
with the
apart.
nails, that's for sure.
But the Emperor didn't care, so long as the universe was conquered in his name. It was at this moment of vulnerability for the World Eaters that he came to them, Horus. Foul entities formed in the warp by the negative emotions of the sentient universe had corrupted the War Master, the Emperor's favourite son. The Primarch came to his brother Angron.
Also send you Lady
and
Corvus
whispered the
Curse and
words
Angron?
he'd so
Thank you, Fear. I
desperately
appreciate that.
wanted to hear. The Emperor is a tyrant. He has enslaved you, brother.
As long as
And
they're
let
not,
your eaters of cities die.
as long as they're not
Join me
18
in
plus,
cutting the slaving bastard's
delete them if they
head
are.
off.
I'll show them on stream
A
here if you don't mind.
crescendo of resentment that had fermented for decades washed
At the end,
over
at the end.
Angron, and he pledged himself to Horus, to the traitor's side. Khan had only one thing left to himself. The massacre at Gehenna had showed that, and that was loyalty to the Legion. We
No
were either
gooning,
with
exactly,
him
exactly.
or against him. But there was a problem. Not all within the Legion would follow the path of a traitor. Within all the traitors' legions, there were those whose loyalty to the Emperor and the Imperium was greater than that to their own Primarch. In hushed whispers, a plan was constructed to purge themselves of this cancer, this weakness for the war to come. Perhaps Khan felt conflicted to have to kill brothers.
Here comes
and
another
friends
purge, guys.
again for his Primarch. But
Fuck.
Khan was not ready to give up his ties or codes. He had surrendered. He had become a slave to teaching. and
That's literally
belief.
what you're doing,
That
though.
is
Yeah,
why
you are
belief
giving up your
will
codes,
always
bro.
rule him. Belief in Angron. The sons of Horus, the Emperor's
So you may have
children,
stuck the
the
pictures
Death
together
Guard,
by accident?
and the
Yeah,
World Eater
maybe.
legions assembled upon the non-compliant
I'm gonna get a
world
box in my
Islam
fucking
3.
P.O. box,
The
and it's just
legions
gonna be like some
drop-podded their
pictures
way
that are
down
like
to the
fucking
surface. 1/3 of each legion barreling into
Fucking
the rebelling forces
printed
of
out.
Isfahan. But something was wrong. The leadership of the ground forces received a distress signal from Captain Saul Tarvitz, a noble veteran of the 3rd Legion, telling them they were
Please nobody
betrayed
send me any goon
and were
pictures, I
about
swear
be
to God.
bombarded by Horus and the Primarch's fleet. The world of Isfahan 3 became encased in fire as billions of ordinary people burned by virus bombs. But to Horus's anger, most of the loyalists upon the surface had survived inside the world's fortified bunkers. Enraged, the 4 traitor legions launched their forces at their once
Some
comrades,
custom-made crusty models, bro.
brother, in a symphony of hate,
Oh god.
brutality, and fire.
I was gonna
Comrades who
say
had
something,
spent
but I can't say
decades
that on
by
stream.
each other's side were at each other's throats. KHARN was inside the thick of it. Perhaps the KHARN of old would have never have betrayed a brother, but reason dies under the resentment of a forgotten veteran and the sting of the butcher's nails. The World Eaters, in spite of what Angron had done to them, they had the largest number of loyalists to the Emperor.
Isn't
They were
that
the
crazy?
last true element of the Warhounds, the heritage of heart, the last weakness. KHARN again spilled the blood of brothers. Titanic forces clashed as thousands of butchers.
Hey, Troy, how you doing?
KHARN became a beast, covered in gore. Even his once friend Garviel Loken, on the side of the loyalists, was shocked by the sight of this mad, predatorial beast. I am the eightfold path.
I will say it is very nuts to me how, again, they still maintain some of the biggest groups of loyalists within the heretic legions. Like, that is fucking nuts to me. Even after all their purging, even after, like, the 10th upon 10th decimation that they incurred, fucking insane. They still had some of the most, like, loyal members amongst the heretics in their legion. That fucking kind of goes to show you just how, like, true a lot of them were to the Imperium at the end of the day. But again, it doesn't matter. Like, when your Primarch is as unstable as Angron is, you know, that's the issue. Only a few are goon material, Magnus and Custodian. You better listen, you best delete them. I don't even know which screen my fucking Discord is on, so if I open that shit up and I see that, I swear.
Real beast. I am the eightfold path. Words that KHARN began to scream as his mind was lost to rage and bloodlust.
Pretty sad, also.
KHARN
it is.
attacked his once
It is.
friend,
It's a waste.
only to be thrown against the dozer blades of a nearby vehicle, impaling his chest.
Fuck.
Blood poured from the titanic wounds, mixing with the gore of his once friends and brothers that stained his armor. And KHARN of the 8th Company faded from this world.
Loyalist World Eaters are badass. Pretty sure we saw a Box in the Void narration about that back a couple months ago now. Probably 2-3 months ago. It was very, very good. But like a loyalist holdout of World Eaters.
You are a sad creature that cannot live without fighting, and the shadows of hatred flicker.
I didn't send
within
any
your
goon
eyes.
ones, I swear. Good man, fear.
And
Good.
for what? For wealth, ego, anger, unprincipled nature, power? Always desiring to be superior to others, having no patience for your supposed inferiors, and belittling strangers. Like a hawk.
Cry Havoc,
fly
that's the
high
one,
above
yes.
and
Cry
looking
Havoc.
down on
Fantastic,
others.
fantastic
Without
narration. Go
strength
check
or
it out if
purpose
you
to
haven't.
guide you, you only
And I did
fan
do a
the
reaction
flames
on
of
it as
hatred.
well.
You can see it, can't you? In your mind. You feel the warmth and heat of it. That beast that calls out for oblivion, pulling you further from your humanity, from your sense.
The flames of hatred flickered within the boy from terror. As much as we all hate to admit, there is something deep within all of us, the capacity for true evil. When our humanity is lost, taken by acts of vileness and cruelty, all that can be left behind is the animal, the beast that lashes out, a creature of rage and hate.
I will say, I do love the helmet style on the World
table,
Eaters.
with gashes and wounds so horrific,
Like that
it was
horn
a miracle that
kinda
he was
style.
not dead. KHARN clawed his way back to life, healing his wounds as the Horus Heresy had truly begun. His brothers and Primarch finally let the Imperium see what they had become. During the infamous Isfahan V massacre, the Raven Guard, Iron Hands, and Salamander's legions had all been annihilated
Pretty
in a
much.
clash of legionary versus legionary. 9 traitor legions began their brutal campaign across the stars, all heading towards terror.
Vox and the Void is
The moment
goated. Vox and the
Angron was
Void is
given
goated.
mastery over us, we stopped being what the Emperor wanted, and became what our father wanted instead. How could he have not foreseen the madness to come when it was he who made it happen? Or
Wow.
did he even care?
He
So long
didn't.
as we spilt the blood that he needed spilled to expand his realm. If you desire to cast fault for the path that the 12th Legion embarked upon, the true blame could be placed nowhere other than that at the throne of terror and at his feet. KHARN and his brothers chose the Legion. His brothers, those who chose the Primarch's path, were who he fought for. In the early days of the heresy, KHARN and a squadron of world eaters were later dispatched to the ruins of Prospero.
Speaking of
to
Vox,
retrieve
there's
the
an amazing
wounded.
series about the World
A
Eaters
sect
named The Walking
communicated
Dogs,
that
or
once
Waking
belonged
Dogs.
to horrors.
It's a 3-part
KHARN
series. It's
had
really
for
good. I'll have to
whatever
check that
reason
out.
to locate a mind-healing device.
Yeah, if you guys want to see that, I'll check that out for sure. I love Vox and the Void's content, man.
From the effects of the Butcher's nails. Captain Calliston, a survivor of the fall of Prospero, told him that the device was destroyed, but offered to use his psychic powers to heal KHARN's mind. He had hope, but to heal his mind? After all that he had done, he didn't deserve it. His anger
Wow.
began to rise, perhaps feeling a sense of cosmic injustice that he was offered salvation.
Kind of crazy, like he's offering to heal his mind here. Because, like, it's described as, like, a piece of his fucking brain gets removed, bro. So you're doing some evasive, like, psych or brain surgery here, bro. Do you trust that? Would you allow that on yourself? You know, would you consent to that surgery if you had the option? Either keep the nails in your head or like consent to some fucking some psych or surgery. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so, bro. I think it'd be a little bit iffy at best. You know what I'm saying? The great clean one instead of the great unclean one. Oh. Can we watch KHARN versus 5 World Eaters? How long is it? If it's not too long, we can maybe watch it after this. Depends how long it is.
Sense of cosmic injustice that he was offered salvation, and then his nails began to bite. The headache grew into a stinging, and his blood began to boil. The flames of hatred rose as KHARN once again became lost to the nails, decrying himself as beyond saving. KHARN rebuked Calliston's
Turned down brain
offering,
surgery a
and
couple
after
years
a
ago.
brief
Being awake,
struggle,
turning you up terrifies me.
beat
Yeah,
the
fuck that, bro.
Thousand Sons captain to death.
Yeah, that
With his
sounds
bare hands.
sounds
As
pretty
Castellan
evasive, let's
faded
say.
from this world, he saw the
Invasive, not
mad
invasive.
beast, and he saw glimpses of what he would become when he was finally unleashed from the chains of others. He saw something dark, filled with hate and rage, was watching him. Having destroyed the only salvation for his brothers, immense guilt overcame KHARN when the sting of the nails wore down. His own guilt had manifested and had destroyed their hope. Returning to his legion's side, all KHARN could do now was hold on to the things he still valued in this world. As the heresy progressed, the World Eaters burned their way across the galaxy,
Yeah, they
drowning
did.
the worlds loyal to the Emperor in blood. As his own legion's ties to one another decayed, KHARN still had one brother who kept him tethered, Argyle, the Crimson Lord, Hastati of the Word-Bearers, and now the leader of the Vakra Jarl. Argyle had been KHARN's friend for centuries, bonding over their duels during the Great Crusade. They were both very different back then. They both had changed so much. But their bond of friendship kept them both tied to their humanity, despite what they had suffered. They were
Yeah.
even brothers in rebellion. The
I'm sure
path
that
would
won't
be
end
ever
brutally at
increasing
all, will it?
difficult in the battles
Man.
to come.
Fucking poor Argyle. Actually was a decent character too.
Primarch said a third time, smiling now. He enjoyed the way the insult tasted.
Yes, sire.
I saw your lord's pretty warships lighting up the skies just now.
The Trisagion and the Blessed Lady reaving their way through Armatura's
20 minutes long?
We owe this assault to them.
I might make a video on it then instead if it's 20 minutes long. Just because, again, I don't like watching videos that are too long. You know, mixed in with these kinds of streams, just because, like, I'm gonna be naming the video itself around there, or the stream itself, I should say, around this. And while I can upload the video after the fact, this stream, is going to be a thing a lot of people watch, and I want each creator and each piece of content to get the recognition it deserves, kind of thing. If it's a shorter video, if it's under 10 minutes, I don't really mind too much, but once you're getting like above 10 minutes, that's kind of like, I'd rather just make like a video or stream it separately or something of that, like, you know what I'm saying? If that's not a problem with you guys.
We owe this assault to them, eh?
Sorry about that, Battle Chicken.
betrayed no response, merely waiting impassively.
Ever get around to that mini painting stream? Not yet, man. Not yet, unfortunately. Not yet, unfortunately. We do need to do that still. We do need to do that.
To manage his composure. His brother may have been a bearer of the word, but Argotal had a 12th Legion's temper.
I do need to get on that. I've been dragging on that. That's my bad.
Blessed Lady,
he said.
That name. She was your whore priestess, was she not?
Oh, damn.
She was our confessor.
The word-bearer's armor joints gave
Fighting
a low
words.
thrum as he tilted his head and bunched his muscles. Angron didn't miss the telltale signs of rising aggression. He broke into a grin.
Dead, though, eh? Entombed on Lorgar's flagship. Is that the
Bird watching
same
stream
shrine,
when?
or have you...
Bro, okay, listen to me right now. Do you guys genuinely, if I was to stream fucking a bird watching stream, right? If I was to do that, would you guys actually, would people actually tune into that? Like, listen, I'm going to be completely real with you guys, okay, right here, right now. I would not be really present throughout it at all, right? But if I was to just put my fucking camera on to stream like our bird feeders, because we do actually get a lot of different birds. Like my mom actually is into bird watching a little bit. We do actually get quite a lot of stuff coming through there. Rabbits, ducks, a whole lot of it. Genuinely, if I was to just put my action cam up to stream that shit, would you guys genuinely watch it? Because like, holy shit. If it's, if it's that easy, no. But if you guys want to see it, listen, I'll look into doing that. It's just going to be the case of how do I stream it? I'd probably have to stream it from like my phone or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like stream it from my camera to my phone and then from my phone to YouTube kind of thing is how it would go. I just have to look into that because I don't think I have a laptop, right? So that's the only thing. But besides that, yeah, fuck. What kind of birds? Actual birds or Back to the Future bird watching? Either or, I guess. No, actual birds. No, we do actually have a pretty varied amount of animal life in our backyard, and we do have a bird feeder. My mom is very big into watching birds and whatnot. So yeah, no, that could be a thing. If you guys want to see that, sure.
Lorgar's flagship.
I watch for maybe an hour, bro. I'd let that shit run all day.
Shrine, or have you
24-hour bird watching stream.
24/7.
Girl. A hesitation this time. Argotal took a slow breath.
It is her.
Is it true that fanatics pulled her bones from the coffin? They stole them as holy relics like the heathens of old.
KHARN watched Argotal's fingers flinch and curl.
It is true,
the word-bearer replied.
Angron.
KHARN warned his father. Angron ignored him, as KHARN had known the Primarch would. He was enjoying himself too much to heed any advice. KHARN shook his head. Here it comes. Angron's chuckle had all the charm and warmth of an avalanche.
This is the same whore priestess you failed to protect in life. Now you can't even guard her bones from human thieves.
Wow.
Lorgar must love you, creature. Why else would
That's
he
so
stomach
disrespectful,
your
bro.
failures?
The word-bearer spoke through clenched teeth.
if my Lord Lorgar finds fault with my service, he is free to offer punishment.
He was turning away now, regardless of the disrespect he offered. Angron baiting him was an old game, though this time it risked going further than ever before.
And you, Broken One, are not fit to speak of the Blessed Lady.
Angron's laugh was a wet landslide.
Did you
Broken
ever
One is pretty
recover
true.
her bones, creature?
Like, they're
Or
throwing
are
it back
they
at each other
still
here.
in the hands of your unwashed cultist slaves?
Oof.
He is no Primarch.
Came Argyltal's voice in KHARN's mind. The Centurion's first instinct was to shudder. The nails bit harder, hotter, in the wake of the psychic
He is
whisper.
no
They
Primarch.
heard
Gets put
more
into
every
Karn's
time.
brain.
KHARN
Yikes.
looked back to his brother, where Argyltal was directing his own men into their gunships and drop pods.
He is my Primarch.
KHARN replied, with no idea if Argyltal could hear
He
him.
is my
Sometimes the silent
Primarch.
speech worked,
Look,
sometimes it didn't.
she's
A
my
Primarch should be
queen.
inspiring. Our genetics should react to the mere sight of them. Think of the moment you laid eyes on Horus, Dawn, or Magnus. I've seen Cynreius and Russ. with my
Angron
own
is right,
eyes
though.
As well.
Yeah, Angron, I'll say it right now. Angron's not wrong. Like, yeah, they straight up did, like, let human cultists get her fucking bones and, like, steal them, essentially. Like, do shit with them. He's not wrong. He's absolutely not wrong. Tall is also not wrong, though, in what his insults are implying and what he's saying, though, either. They're both right. That's the problem here, right? Like, but I'm definitely going to have to go for Tall here, because Tall is just a fucking, oh, you know what I mean? Tall is actually genuinely a good, like, you know, everyone makes mistakes, I think, but Tall, his intentions weren't the worst, let's say.
Our genetics
I thought
should
Jon
react
Snow
to the
also,
mere
yeah,
sight
bro,
of them.
like straight to Jon
Think of the
Snow.
moment you laid eyes on Horus, Dawn, or Magnus. I've seen Cynreius and Russ with my own eyes as well. The awe and reverence that beats through your blood, the feeling of our genetic coding reacting to the pinnacle of the human process. I've never felt that instinctive respect for Angron Khan.
See?
Not once.
Holy shit.
He is a broken thing. Devastating.
I have
unrivaled
never
in
felt
war.
that he's a Primarch. I just look at him like a broken
KHARN didn't answer.
thing,
because
literally.
There was nothing to say.
It's
He
true.
boarded his drop pod, ascending the ramp, and waited for the robed Legion slave to secure his restraint harness.
You feel it.
Argyltal said.
You feel it too.
In psychic silence, KHARN confessed something he'd never said outside his Legion.
Yes, we feel the same. The World Eaters, each and every one of us knows what you do.
Why do you tolerate it?
What can we do? Murder our own father? Did you destroy Lorgar when he led you into worshipping the Emperor? Or did you tolerate him in patience, hoping that eventually he'd find his way to equaling his brothers?
See, that's kind of different, though, here, because what are we going to do? Murder our father? Well, you've already proven that you're willing to murder how many of your brothers, right? Your own blood, in theory, already, right? So is the father who's causing all the issues here, like, you know, the ultimate fucking, like, casualty here that you have, the ultimate sacrifice that you need to take? Like, yeah, like, I think get rid of him, you know what I'm saying? Rather than kill all these brothers that are your brothers and that you appreciate and that you like, you know what I'm saying? Why not get rid of the father that is literally beating you guys and fucking, like, driving you all apart? Doesn't appreciate you. You guys all feel the same about him. Get rid of him. He's the problem here, very clearly. You know, that's what it is. My internet is so trash. I'm missing stuff. Oh, that's okay, Tetra. Listen, the stream will always be up here. The video will always be up here. I know it's unfortunate not to catch it live, but no worries. You know, it'll always be here for you guys to watch. So no issues there.
Hoping that eventually he'd find
My
his way
queen.
to equaling his brothers.
A pause. A long, long pause. KHARN took it as Argyltal's capitulation and pushed on.
It's our shame to bear before the other legions, brother. Angron was broken long before he ever reached us. Why do you think we let him beat the nails into our heads? We hoped that by breaking ourselves on the same anvil, we'd finally feel unity with our father.
There was nothing of mockery in the word-bearer's reply, only sympathy.
Mr. Bones 40K
KHARN's
video.
skin crawled. He'd have
It's a
preferred
great, or Mr.
mockery.
Bones is a great video
It
on
didn't
Angron and
work.
his story is one of the cycle of abuse. Yeah, Angron is Angron is very, like, that's the thing. He got beaten before he ever really got a chance. That's the tragedy of Angron, right? Like, he should have been a lot more than he was, but due to the circumstances in his early development years, you know, when it really counted, especially getting nails put in his head, yeah, he absolutely got shafted. He got a very short end of the stick there, that's for certain.
The Imperium burns. The Horus Heresy has raged for years. The World Eaters and Word Bearers burn their way across the
This
realm
is also an
of
awesome
Ultramar,
illustration.
the domain of the Primarch Rabute Guilliman. The very sight of the World Eaters Legion brought
Angron is my hero.
and dread
Oof.
to the worlds of the Imperium. Their cohesion was almost
Biggie should have just left
completely
Angron
lost.
to the text for
Angron
experimentation.
choosing to attack
Oof.
worlds not for strategic
Yeah,
value,
you're not
but just so he
not
could
necessarily
unleash
wrong,
his
though.
bloodlust and alleviate his butcher's nails. Lorgar, Angron's brother, was barely able to rein in this ravenous legion. It was during the Shadow Crusade in Ultramar. Argyltal and his new chapter, the Vakra Jar, was assigned to the World Eaters' flagship, the Conqueror. The World Eaters' Legion had no love for their more scholarly religious brothers, but KHARN had the bond of brotherhood with Argyltal.
Right.
KHARN shared the Legion's traditions with them, fighting on the red sands inside the gladiatorial pits. Warriors tying themselves together in contests of teamwork and skill. The two came from vastly different worlds and operated within legions of vastly different cultures, but friendship cut through all those barriers. This fragile alliance was held up by the bond between these two, able to
Their
keep
bond
their
is
brothers
pretty
in line when they
respectable, I will
overstepped.
say.
Argyltal's time with the
They had a
World
really good
Eaters
relationship
was
going
not
on.
entirely
Whoa,
pleasant,
whoa,
as
whoa, whoa.
Angron,
Alarm
the
going off,
unashamed
sorry.
beast that he was, enjoyed toying with the Crimson Lord, taunting him with his friend's death, his confessor Cyrene. Angron's condition had become worse over the latter parts of the Great Crusade. KHARN had suspected that the nails were killing him slowly. But
Yeah.
now in the fires of the
Suspected,
heresy, he was either a raging beast or an uncaring tyrant. He is no Primarch. Argyltal was right. Their genetics should react at the mere sight of them. KHARN had felt the aura of majesty with the other Primarchs, but not with his own father. He had killed brothers for him.
And
He had the nails.
that's
put
because
in
the
his
nails
skull,
turn off his
hoping
Primarch
that
aura
by
in a sense,
breaking
right? Is that
himself
incorrect?
on the same anvil, he would finally feel unity with his father. But it didn't work. KHARN had done so much
Yeah,
evil
okay, that's what
for
I
his
thought.
father, and it didn't work.
That's sad.
Now he knew in his heart he wasn't worthy of salvation.
Because in a way, they almost, like, I could see it from the perspective of if they put the nails in their head, because maybe they thought they'd, like, feel that respect, that yearning respect that they feel for every other Primarch except their own, you know what I'm saying? If they got the nails put in their head. But obviously the nails just, like, nullify your abilities, you know what I'm saying? That nullifies, like, any aura that you might have, so... Yeah, no, that sucks.
And now he knew in his heart he wasn't worthy of salvation. He deserved the nails. Only with Argyltal
thank you, Hobbit.
could he...
Question for you in chat: with Primarchs returning to the setting in modern day, would you find it interesting if we add Primarchs from the Heresy swap sides, Angron redeemed, Rust falling as examples? That would be interesting. I feel like that would really switch up the lore of 40k a lot, especially as, like, and I know we're not really close to, like, 50k in any sense of the word yet, right? At least I don't see it that way, right? But I could definitely see, like, you know, certain Primarchs, certain traitor Primarchs, certainly redeeming themselves. Now, I don't know if any loyalist Primarchs would fall, but I could definitely see some of the traitor Primarchs potentially redeem themselves in, like, the coming editions necessarily, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to say that's for sure going to happen. I'm no expert, obviously, but I could 100% see that happen, because a lot of the ways that some of the traitor Primarchs fell, they really were meant to be loyalists. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it really shouldn't have happened the way it did for them. They just got dealt a shit hand, you know what I'm saying? In the grand scheme of things. And it's just like, fuck, it would be really cool to see them potentially redeem themselves. I just don't know what that would look like for themselves or for their legion, you know? And I guess we already kind of saw that with Corvus in a sense, right? Like, we already kind of, he didn't really swap sides, but he is kind of like a warp beast now in a sense, you know? Magnus needs a redemption arc. Like, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, Magnus coming back to the loyalist side would be super fucking cool. I'm just saying. Morty was a surprise fall? Yeah. Like, there's a lot of them where it's like, they could come back, potentially. Just what would that look like for themselves and for their legion, right? Because their legion could potentially be changed already, is the problem, right?
He deserved the nails. Only with Argyltal could he express a
Thank you for that, tenor though, Hobbit. I appreciate that.
Else. But another truth began to coalesce with the time he spent with his brother. There was more to this rebellion than just the tyranny of the Emperor. The World Eaters were fighting for revenge, but the Word Bearers were fighting for something much darker. Chaos. Dark gods residing within the warp were at the heart.
Corvus is 100%
rebellion.
loyal, absolutely 100% loyal.
The influence of these beings upon the killing fields of Istvan 5.
You know, what he exists as currently is very questionable, is what I will say.
Monstrous creatures with jutting bone, claws, and hulking figures.
Oh.
Demons had possessed their bodies. Demons were real, and it made Khan's skin crawl. Knowing that a creature born of that realm of madness, the warp, also resided within the body of his friend, Argyltal. The heathen rituals
that would be hard to stomach, to be fair.
Legion disgusted him. For a man who was raised on the atheistic ideals of the imperial truth, it was abhorrent, and it confused him. The use of human sacrifice and torture. It was murder, not war. At least war had some honor to it, though that didn't mean
How can you still say that after everything that he's done under the name of Angron? In the name of Angron.
Khan and Argyltal were deployed to the world of Armatura, within the realm.
I guess because they're still like doing what he says, but
have been massacred in
again,
the
you're
wake
killing
of
your own
Waldar
brothers.
And Angron, and more were to come. Armatura was
He
a
accepted the
bastion
warp side of himself?
Gilliman's
Oh,
realm,
okay.
And the upcoming fight was going to be hard.
Fulgrim was 100% loyal too, till he got his hands on a certain blade. That's right,
They
yeah.
began to show their transformation and what it had cost them. The slow, dark ritual parade of the Word Bearers and the undisciplined horde of the World Eaters versus the disciplined Ultramarines. Khan could see it.
Holy
The
shit.
men losing cohesion and suffering enormous casualties. He often lost himself to the nails, only to return to sanity hours later, miles away from his brothers and covered in gore. As he
Wow.
wandered through the rubble and dust of a world on fire, he found his brother Garte, mortally wounded. With his dying breath, he told Khan, "The nails are aflame, even now. How can that be? I'm dying, and they still sing."
Remember that Trazen
What
has a
more do
pure
they want
Fulgrim
from
in
me?
storage? That's
A
actually so
revelation
true.
that struck at the heart
Trazen,
of Khan.
or Trazen has a lot of
Khan
shit, man.
offered his brother a soldier's death, hearing words he'd wish not to hear. Piss on Angron's grave when
Oh.
he finally lies dead.
Holy shit.
Armatura burned. Khan and the traitorous forces cleaved their way across the world, showing no heed as they flung themselves upon the iron-disciplined lines of the Ultramarines' garrison, hoping rage and axe would do. Sometimes the bite of the nails became so great that the World Eaters would attack each other when they ran out of enemies. The battle had
Like,
been
even
a
that's
bloody
such a waste,
mess,
bro.
with high casualties on both sides. But Khan and Argyltal had survived, having fought side by side.
Trey has 152 Pokemon from the original deck.
In the aftermath of the battle,
I could see that, bro.
Found the discarded
What the
weapon
fuck?
of his Primarch, Gorechild. Seeing the size and strength of this enormous chain axe, he claimed it. He
Wow.
was drawn to it. He knew he risked his Primarch's wrath by violating Angron's superstition of inherited weapons bringing ill luck, a gladiatorial myth taken from the red sands of Nuceria. KHARN ignored his battle brother's protests and gave the discarded weapon to the Dark Mechanicum detachment attached to the 12th Legion's fleet, and ordered
Wow.
the senior Magi to restore the weapon to its former glory. A simple claim of a finely crafted weapon, or a subconscious way to tie himself closer to his father. Each battle in the rebellion had become more bloody for KHARN.
So he straight up got himself like a fucking unique, you know what I mean? He got himself a unique weapon off the battlefield against the protests of his brothers because of Angron's superstition. Dark Mechanicum fucking souped it up for him, and like, now he's using Gorechild, so that's how he gets that. Okay. I'm pretty sure I've heard of that, right? Like, yeah, it's just a fucking like a balls to the walls chainsword, right? If I recall. God damn. That's pretty fucking sweet. I didn't know that's like actually how he got it, and I didn't know the Dark Mechanicum like actually souped it as well. I didn't know that. Everyone get ready for the cry we all love about the scum. Oh god. Trazen has a signed autograph of Chuck Norris. Oh my god. Trazen's probably got fucking everything, bro. He's probably got like the King's fucking 45, you know what I'm saying?
Each battle in the rebellion had become more bloody for KHARN. He had soaked worlds in blood, but it had always been either for the love of war and conquest, or because the maddening rage of the butcher's nails had taken over.
It's an axe?
But this
Okay.
Assurer's path
Oh, is that
was
what this is?
watched. This chaos became more to the forefront of KHARN's mind over the Shadow Crusade. Even witnessing
Chuck has a free
Erebus,
pass to
the
Trezen's
first
museum.
chaplain of the Wordbearers, resurrect Argyltal's friend, Cyrene the Confessor, in a dark ritual. Witnessing the blood-curdling screams and the unholy dark tongue of gods of the warp,
Yeah.
it disgusted him.
Yeah, this is
Yet
hard.
a part of him was intrigued. The first chaplain Erebus of the Wordbearers.
It's a chain
the
axe, I
Dark
gotcha,
Apostle
I
had
gotcha.
Power
That's my
that
bad.
Even KHARN, with all he had seen, could not rationalize. Argyltal told him that this primordial truth, this pantheon of dark gods, was the truth, and they had to face it because they couldn't live a lie. The Emperor's lies. Perhaps the idea of this disgusting faith being the truth of the universe unnerved him. He had turned from the Emperor's side because he was an uncaring tyrant who clearly hid things from them. But was this truth worth knowing? We can all think to a time in
Interesting.
our own lives where our naivety was a blessing in the face of truth.
That's actually
So
so
the-
true. So he's sitting there thinking about it like now in hindsight, right? And he's thinking to himself, shit, man, like the Emperor hid stuff from us. He was a tyrant and he was dishonest and he hid stuff from us. But shit, maybe the truth is almost worse knowing. Like that's the thing, right? Now he's hearing that and he's like thinking that to himself. Like maybe it was like maybe hid for a reason potentially. You know, very, very interesting that he just had that thought to himself. I think that's very, very cool. No one can capture Chuck Norris, dude. Chuck Norris would fucking roundhouse kick his way out of a force field. Trazen's force field, to be exact.
Where our naivety was a blessing in the face of truth. Though the flames of hatred had flickered within KHARN, Argyltal's friendship kept them at bay, both men wishing to see their brother survive this war, and fearing losing their friend. So when the words
Chuck Norris
came from
stared down
Erebus
Korn and made
that
him say
KHARN is
sorry. Oh
destined
god.
to die on a world with grey skies.
I don't know why Chuck
the
Norris
Crimson
isn't, like-
Lord's fears
like, you know,
bubble to the surface.
canonically in this, to
The
be
two
honest. He
traitor
should be.
legions in the ashes of Armatura moved on to their next target. Angron was dying. The nails had been killing him for decades, and Lorgar, Primarch of the Wordbearers, had promised KHARN there was a way to save his father. Even as a recruit, all KHARN wanted was his gene father's acceptance, waiting in patience, enduring more than most could tolerate. And now there was a possibility for that dream. The traitors headed for New Syria, Angron's homeworld. As the traitor forces arrived, the world burned under the fury of the traitors. But they were soon counterattacked by Rabute Gilliman and his Ultramarines, seeking revenge for what the traitors had done to his realm. KHARN and Argyltal fought side by side, the Berserker and the demonically possessed man. Argyltal clung to KHARN as the titanic battle raged on.
Yeah, that would be pretty devastating, having both of them in the same fight like that.
Despite KHARN losing himself to the nails many times.
I was gonna say.
Argyltal even had to fend off KHARN himself. The fear of Erebus's prophecy had made...
That's so fucked. Like, yeah, he even has to fend off KHARN himself. So not only is he, like, defending, like, his handicapped, quote-unquote, friend, right? But it's like, you know, he's not, because he's still a god in combat. But, like, to fight cohesively alongside somebody with the butcher's nails in their head, that's got to be fucking insane. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then he just turns on you, starts attacking you randomly for no goddamn reason other than he just wants to kill more shit. Like, bro, God, that's so difficult. Like, you really cannot have any sort of offensive action with the world eaters. Because, man, they're just going to probably kill you at some point, like, inadvertently, not even on purpose, but they're probably just going to kill you. Met Chuck Norris once. He was friends with my grandfather. Oh, damn, Battle Chicken. That's pretty sick. 13 at the time. Very cool dude. Very relaxed. It's very cool how there's, like, you know, it is a small world. I know there was, oh, shit, what was his name? Harrison Ford, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Harrison Ford. I know he had a residence about 40 minutes away from where I lived, or he had one of his residences about 40 minutes away from where I lived in a really, really small town. You really, like, would have no idea, like, you know, like, you know, Harrison Ford would fucking live there. Right. But, yeah, I know somebody who's, I think his father did some work for him, like basically some contracting work on his, like, one of his residences there. And he's just like, holy shit, it's fucking Harrison Ford lives here, right? Very low key place. Like, it's not even like it's an expensive looking, like, mansion or anything. It's like, it's a touristy destination, but it's like cottages and stuff like that, right? It's on the lake. So it's not like it's a fucking like in your face mansion. You know what I'm saying? But Harrison Ford, I heard he was a very chill guy, you know what I'm saying? Very low key, you know what I'm saying? Doesn't, like, flaunt his shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you saw him, you'd be like, is that Harrison Ford? Oh, I don't know. But and then you'd, like, let him go, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't, like, pester him kind of thing, because, you know, just the kind of place it is, I guess. My dad had a few drinks and smoked weed with a former drummer for AC/DC. That's fucking sick. Yeah, man, it's a small world. It's cool how, like, people will just become, like, either you knew them before they were popular and, like, you're just friends with them after, or, like, you know, just, like, they're around and you meet them and they're just fucking normal people, you know what I mean? Like, that's all it is, right? It's cool how chill people usually are.
Even had to fend off KHARN himself. The fear of Erebus's prophecy had made Argyltal fear for his brother's life, leaving his body a wreck after hours of grueling conflict. Thousands lay dead, but KHARN had survived, and as Argyltal gazed off into the world's orange skies, his mentor Erebus approached, congratulating him for saving his brother. And as the Dark Apostle drove the blade through his back, the demon inside him screamed, and KHARN's last friend in the galaxy faded from this world.
Oh no. Our boy just got put down. Not Argyll.
Bold, KHARN. Are you sure?
Gorechild revved for the first time since his rebirth, eating the air with the throaty snarl of an apex predator.
Fuck Erebus, yeah, man. Fuck Erebus. I see that shit-eating grin, and it's like instantly just like, fuck.
Come then.
This guy again.
3 blows. The first KHARN
this
smashed
is the
the
fight
roller
again?
aside with the flat of his new axe. The second, he
Nice.
cannoned a headbutt into Erebus's nose,
Oof.
breaking cartilage with a wet crunch. The third, Gorechild tasted first blood, ripping across the chaplain's chest,
Hell
carving
yeah.
a canyon of flesh over the dense subdermal armor of the warrior's back carapace.
I will
torso,
say,
and blood.
it is cathartic just
All of
hearing
this
about
had happened
Erebus
in
get
the
his ass
time it
beat.
took Erebus to blink. No one could move as fast as KHARN moved. No one human, and nothing mortal. The chaplain threw himself backwards, Cynreius up high to guard. KHARN walked forwards, gunning Gorechild's trigger. The crowd was silent now. This was a KHARN they had never seen.
This
Not
is
even
KHARN
in the
going
field
sicko
of
mode.
battle. Another 3 blows, delivered with the same blinding speed. Erebus's maul clanked skidded across the deck. He took a
Get wrecked,
fist to the
Erebus. I
throat
mean, no, not
and a boot
Erebus.
to the
Yeah, yeah.
stomach,
Erebus
knocking him
deserves
back
it.
with enough force to send
fact
him
that he gets out of
crashing
this
onto
fight
the
is criminal.
blood-stained iron grillwork. He looked up at KHARN from the ground and saw his death in the World Eater's eyes. He had never
Fuck.
seen this before. Not in any of the
I can't
paths of
lose.
possibility. It couldn't be happening.
It doesn't end
couldn't
like this.
end like this. He was Destiny's hand. KHARN looked down at him. Clearly
I am the
allowing
dragon.
time
You can't
for the
kill me.
chaplain to recover his Cynreius.
Sorry, another Game of Thrones reference.
Erebus rose, his mace in his hands. He attacked this time, showing him the speed and skill that had allowed him to hold his own against Lucius of the Emperor's Children. And
Lucius is
Loken
also
of
a
the
baller,
old
to be
lunar
fair.
wolves. His Cynreius trailed, killing lightning, buzzing furiously as it thrummed through the empty air again and again. KHARN weaved aside from every blow, quicker than a blink, surely quicker than muscles could ever allow. Their weapons clashed together. KHARN had parried the last blow. Erebus expected accusation in the
The
World
Hand of
Eater's
Destiny
eyes,
needs a new hand,
or
exactly.
surely anger. He saw neither.
The handless of Destiny.
Worse, he saw bored indulgence.
Crown for
Captain
king.
even sighed.
Literally.
3 more blows. Erebus was on the deck before he even knew how. Pain flared across his chest, hot and urgent, matching the thick throb of his smashed face. He reached to the wound with a hand that was no longer there. His hand was on the deck, several meters away. Blood leaked from the chewed veins nestled in the meat of his severed limb, turning unbelieving eyes downwards. He saw where his arm now ended at the wrist. Going to need an augmetic for that. KHARN said from the crowd. Several
Oof.
warriors laughed, but few with any relish. They were too fascinated with what was unfolding. Erebus looked up at KHARN again. He was just waiting.
Get up!
The chaplain rose. KHARN didn't wait this time.
Get
The
up.
blows
Yeah.
were bloody blurs of whining motor and tearing chain teeth. Pain bloomed across Erebus's body, and
Fuck.
he was face down on the deck again before he managed to fully rise from the last time. Even without his armor's pain nullifiers and chemical stimulants, Erebus suppressed the pain by whisper chanting a sacred mandala. KHARN interrupted it.
Please, for the love of God, help me.
Erebus actually tried, but he froze in place when he felt Gorechild's teeth across his spine.
Fuck.
The idling chain blade was purring and breathing out its Promethean fuel stink. The axe's steel teeth kissing Erebus's vertebrae. Never, not even in fragmentary glimpses, had he foreseen this duel. It couldn't end like this.
I love how he didn't, like, have any idea, right? The so-called fucking Hand of Destiny, dude. And this motherfucker, he never foresaw this duel even incoming. You know what I'm saying? He never saw this as even, like, a possibility on the radar that could have occurred. So it's so fucking funny to see Erebus, like, out of his element. You know what I'm saying? Like, not fucking ready for this at all. Because every other time, he's just a fucking rat. And he just, like, somehow cockroaches his way out of any problem. And, like, this one he does too. He straight up cockroaches his way out of this somehow. But, like, he still fucking pays for it, you know what I'm saying? And it's very, very cathartic, I will say. Very cathartic indeed.
Had he foreseen this duel? It couldn't end like this. He couldn't die.
I start
here.
grinning like the
There was so much
Cheshire
to
every
do.
time I hear her read this
Cygnus
fight.
Prime,
This fight's awesome.
Terror herself.
I love this shit.
In all the 10,000 futures, Erebus had seen himself fighting the long war to the very
Everyone has a
last.
plan until they get punched
the
in
very
the face.
same second Erebus reached to the ritual knife.
Like you mean
at his
head
belt,
butted, nose
with his
broken,
remaining
arm
hand,
sawed off.
KHARN pulled the chain
Fucking-
axe's trigger. There should have been a scream. Everyone expected it.
Spine
Every warrior
expunged.
present waited to hear the first chapter of the word bearer's shriek as Gorchard bit into his flesh. But there was nothing beyond the rotating whine of an axe blade chewing empty air. No one seemed surprised at the display of the word bearer's sorcery. Even fewer were surprised at the cowardice. KHARN turned from the bloody marking on the deck,
Nobody even cared.
leaving the circle without a word.
That's also hilarious to me how literally that happened and there was no rage, there was no anger. Literally everyone like saw him disappear and they're like, adds up. What a bitch. And then they go back to their normal duties, KHARN included. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't give a fuck. Like it's just like, yeah, expected. Not gonna stick around. Fucking idiot. Like don't even give a shit. Like that's so funny to me how they literally don't care. Like they're not angry that he left. They're not like pissed off. They're just like, yeah. Adds up. Fuck. Sen is even listing the order of hits. Wonder what his favorite 30k fight is, bro. I like this fight a lot. This like the first time we heard this, and then watching like the what was it, the DQVO video. Sorry if I got that order of letters wrong. That was very, very good. Also, great narration. I love hearing this fight. I think this is the third time we've heard it, and every time I hear it, I'm just like, oh yes, you know what I mean. Like it's good to get a refresher on this fight every single time. You know what I'm saying? I like it a lot. It makes me smile. Fuck yeah.
Deck, leaving the
Go Trek and Felix by Pancreas.
without a word.
Dude, I gotta look that up for sure, for sure. You've been asking for that for a while, Chicken. I apologize. We do gotta do that.
He murdered him. In the ashes of New Syria, Erebus murdered.
In the ashes of
Uncle Tom,
Syria? Whoa, whoa,
stabbing him in the
whoa.
back.
Holy
and
shit.
KHARN wasn't there to save him. He had been distracted by the horrifying events that had gripped his Primarch. Angron had been locked within a fierce duel with his brother Rabute Gilliman, falling even further into the madness of the butcher's nails, his mind screaming with rage and pain. He truly was dying. At the moment of Angron's victory over his brother, Lorgar used this opportunity and began a chaos ritual, using Angron's rage as a conduit and the power of the sacrifices taken over the Shadow Crusade. Lorgar channeled the power of chaos directly into his brother, swelling him with dark power.
What an asshole,
Angron's
man.
form exploded in a storm of dark energy and blood. What emerged from the epicenter of hate was a massive, hulking creature with
Yeah.
crimson skin,
Demon
large
Angron.
wings, rows of jagged teeth, bulging muscles, cloven feet and claws.
And it's
He was
Lorgar who
covered
gasses up
in
Erebus to
smoking,
KHARN, yeah.
dripping gore.
Technically, yeah,
KHARN
yeah.
and the
Lorgar
world
just
eaters
like stops
stood
giving a
in
fuck,
shock,
right?
as their father had been
Erebus takes
turned
that personally.
into a demonic beast. Imagine putting yourself there before this demonic creature towering over you.
Shit
The smell
myself.
of iron in the air as blood dripped from its form. The fear and intimidation that would grip you.
I imagine iron and
KHARN
also
had seen
sulfur.
his father die, only to be replaced by this
Shit probably smells like
living
ass, I'm not
nightmare.
gonna lie.
Following the events on New Syria, KHARN and the Legion locked their Primarch within the deepest bowels of their flagship, though no prison could ever hold him.
Only
for
person
long.
Gotrek can't beat is Chuck
Lorgar
Norris.
had-
Honestly, guys, straight up, do you think Gotrek could beat a Demon Angron? Do you think that would be happening? Because, like, bro, do you think he'd even have a shot at it? I could see him taking a crack at him for sure. I don't know if he'd win, but yes, you think he could? I mean, I guess canonically, I haven't seen anything about Gotrek yet. I've obviously heard some tales of his exploits. I haven't checked out a video on him yet. But I hear he takes on some pretty insane shit. So he might actually genuinely have a good chance at it. Gotrek is built different. Fuck, fair enough, man. Like, apparently, yeah, like, fuck. I gotta look up a video about him for sure. Maybe that'll be tomorrow's video.
Though no prison could ever hold
Pancreas
him
no
for
works?
long, Lorgar had told KHARN once that he would save his
I got
father,
you, chicken.
and he had. The butcher's nails wouldn't kill him anymore. But was this any better? KHARN hated Lorgar. This was no salvation. At the moment of pure anguish, Lorgar asked him, "Would you like to know who killed Argol Tal?" His last friend in the universe
Twas
was
me.
dead. His tether to his humanity had shattered. Erebus killed
Dotrek
his
survived
friend.
the end times, wandering the chaos
hatred
waste until the age of
bubbled within.
Sigmar. What
This
the
was
fuck?
no sting of the nails. This was the man, KHARN. His fury, his hate. You can imagine it. The anger of when a friend, a brother, is taken from you, and you were not ready. When you didn't even have the chance to say goodbye. You didn't even have the chance to be there to help. KHARN strode to the
That
fighting
was the
pit
shitty thing,
inside the
is that
Legion's
Erebus just
flagship
straight up
and
assassinated him.
challenged Erebus in a
Straight up
duel
assassinated
to the
Argol
death.
Tal.
Sanguinis extremis. Erebus was confident, but all of that drained away as KHARN struck
Immediately.
with a reforged Gorechild, a chain axe that was so immensely heavy it should have taken 2 hands to wield it. The cheering crowd turned
During
to
his
harsh
last book in
silence
fantasy, he
as
beats
KHARN
Be'lakor to
seemed
death with a
move the
greater
speed
demon
and
of
strength they'd
Khorne.
never seen before.
What?
Erebus
With
had
the greater
murdered
demon of Khorne?
Argol Tal because his friendship kept KHARN
Alongside a
tied to
greater
his
demon of the
humanity.
other 3
Erebus
Chaos
saw
Gods.
that this would prevent KHARN's destiny, the path that led
He
to
uses
the
the
dark
face of a
gods
bloodthirster to kill
chaos,
Be'lakor.
an
He literally
eightfold
beats him to
path,
death with another
an
demon.
Ashura's path. Before he could finish him, Erebus teleported himself away like the coward he was.
There was no honor at all.
KHARN had
No.
been transformed.
Not in the
There
way
was something
Argol Tal died.
deadlier,
That was so
more of the
dastardly.
beast and less of the man. Following his duel, he made his way to the deepest bowels of the Legion's flagship, to his primal.
Straight up depressing is how he
found
died.
the hulking demonic beast. Angron was a mewling creature now, scattered amongst corpses, bouncing between moments of forgetfulness and seething rage. KHARN thought that the Primarch probably did not even recognize the creature he saw reflected in the pools of blood lying at his feet. It wounded KHARN to see his father suffer like this, suffering what Lorgar had done to him.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
Even
horrific.
Now, KHARN didn't want to lose him. The price for Angron's salvation, his
For
immortality.
a point of reference,
chilled him
Be'lakor
to
is the
core.
first demon prince, thus
Angron
immortal,
was
and Gotrek killed him.
inconsolable.
Fuck.
This is not freedom. It is slavery.
Well, did he like
cried
physically
out,
kill him, or
kneeling
like
in front of the monster that
mentally,
was his
or
Primarch.
you know, somehow banish
Angron
him
ordered
to some
KHARN
degree?
to bring him the slaves from the lower decks, and he told him to build him a throne of skulls. And then Angron uttered the words that would haunt KHARN for the rest of his life. Blood. Blood for the blood god.
Oh, God.
Blood for my lord Khorne. Skulls for the skull throne.
Ah. Siege of Terra.
Something was watching him. KHARN felt its eye upon him. The same
Totally killed him, gone from
sleepless and
existence. Holy
unwavering
shit.
eye that had watched his father all his life, he now suspected. His nails were stinging constantly. His headaches never went away, and he felt himself falling. He would black out, only to awaken hours later, finding himself covered in gore and surrounded by corpses. He was in constant pain, the eightfold heat washing through the base of his skull. KHARN's brothers, if they could still be called that, were no better. Rampages and slaughter became commonplace amongst the Legion's fleet. The very ships themselves flowed with rivers of blood. Any water had long since gone. And after a while, you got used to the taste of iron down your throat. KHARN finally understood now that he was damaged. Would that I were judged for my atrocities. I could answer those in
Hey
a
Dagenhart, how you
heartbeat
doing?
and spit upon
Just woke up from a
anyone who would
blood
say
nap?
that the legionary's rightful role
Might
is
make
not
a run
that
for
of an
some skulls in a
attacker.
bit. Yikes.
Rather, I know I am to be
Good to see you here, man.
condemned for whatever vestige of mercy and sane thought I can still muster when the killing is done and the butcher's nails are sated. Such things as mercy and sanity are of no interest to whatever
So
it is that
true.
lurks beyond. KHARN, the god of war, rage, blood, and martial honor, strength, and murder, had seen the Acari of Angron.
I want to say right now, for the record, it's hard to say though, man. I don't know, because it's hard to say. KHARN probably has one of my favorite, like, chaos, like, color schemes, like Warriors of KHARN, you know what I'm saying? Like that red, that black, that shit looks fucking menacing as shit, and you know me, red and black are my colors, you know what I'm saying? I gotta say, I love the fucking, the color scheme of the KHARN Chaos Warriors, bro. They do just look badass as fuck, like straight up, like some of my favorites amongst the Traitor Legions, just for the record, had to say that.
Watching him his whole life, seeing the mountains of corpses, the slaughter, the prowess of this boy
The red and
from
black
terror,
brass and
surviving
bronze is
the
sick as fuck. It
impalement
is.
at
It looks
Isfahan
badass.
III. He thought he
Just
had
plain and
survived
simple
out of
looks
sheer
badass.
will, or had something else been there in his time of need.
Red and black are my
The
like two favorite
flames
colors,
of
if you guys
hatred,
couldn't tell. So
the beast that calls out for oblivion, pulling you further from your humanity, from your sense. It was an Asura's path, an eightfold path that led to KHARN. KHARN and the Legion lost all sense of direction. As Horus's rebellion progressed, the 12th Legion simply went from
KHARN
planet
hates
to
bronze 'cause
planet
it's
in
not
search
brass,
of
oh shit.
victims of their rampaging Primarch and his Berserker Legion. They needed blood for the Blood God.
blood for the
Years
blood
of
god.
undirected slaughter ravaged the worlds of the Imperium until the moment
And this
came.
made KHARN very
Horus
horny.
was ready to assault Terra, ready to take the head of the Emperor in the name of the Dark Gods. Horus dispatched Perturabo and his Iron Warriors to bring Angron and his legion to muster upon the world of Ulanor before the siege of Terra could begin. Perturabo found the 12th rampaging on the world of Deluge.
Just
Perturabo's
fucking around.
iron-disciplined warriors headed down to the surface, establishing a defensive line upon a hill surrounded by a thick mist. A single man emerged from the fog. He was twitching and covered in blood. KHARN. With seemingly all his strength, KHARN was holding back the rage. He spoke to them. He begged them to leave before it was too late.
Oh god.
But then the demon Angron and his Berserker Legion
That's
charged
fucked.
at them. A bloody battle ensued. But just like
What a bunch
the
of
Knight
fuckers,
the
though,
Wolf,
honestly.
Angron became
Straight up.
separated from his
Not
legion.
his fault right
He
now.
was beaten into submission by Perturabo and his Iron Warriors.
That's funny.
Restrained and refocused, the 12th Legion were dragged to the muster at Ulanor. And
This is where
joined the
Angron is put in
traitors.
place, yeah.
Now, the siege of Terra could
That's what I
begin.
like to see,
The
honestly.
war had been long, and KHARN was very different from the boy who had left Terra 2 centuries before. Now he returned, a traitor. What began was the most brutal battle in humanity's history. Billions of lives would be lost in the titanic clashes of ordinary to superhuman warriors. As the 12th Legion approached Terra, Angron's rages threatened their flagship. And
Siege
so
of
it was
Terra is a
KHARN who
very,
sent
like,
to
compelling
calm
time
his
period.
father. But as he entered the corpse,
So much crazy shit, the scale
he was
of
set
it.
upon by the raging
Insane.
Primarch. Almost a recreation of their first meeting.
It truly is
KHARN
sad what
was
happened to the
thrown
Legion.
around
Oh, it
and
is, yeah.
beaten, and
It's a
with
waste of
voice
potential, straight up.
half twisted by a beast jaw and half growl, the Primarch revealed he knew the 8th Captain's ultimate destiny and wished to supplant him as the chosen of KHARN. Before Angron could finish him, KHARN placed a teleporter on the Primarch, which transported him to the shifting maze within the nearby Night Lord's flagship, Nightfall.
Oh.
His father almost killed him.
Jesus.
His ties to his humanity fully snapped.
You just fucking teleported away? Be gone, Angron.
Unbearable pain.
Oh god.
The heritage of heart that he loved with the Warhounds was gone. The eightfold path. His father's
As much as
path
Purdy
had
is a bitter
disgusted
ass,
him
seeing him
once.
manhandle his traitor
The
allies is
price
so
for
satisfying.
immortality.
That's the thing, because his fucking brothers, like his traitor brothers, really do deserve to get manhandled on occasion. Like, that's the thing, right? And if anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be Purdy. Like, he's one of the most competent of the traitors, like straight up, just is the most competent, probably. In terms of like strategic prowess, yeah, he's a little bit wasteful when it comes to the lives of his men, but strategically, he's very, very capable. And Angron is the complete fucking opposite of strategically capable, like straight up. You know what I mean? Like he can't do it. It's not a thing for him. You put Angron in front of an enemy, he'll kill that enemy. That's great, but he is not strategically prowess at all. Just not it. As much as you can put a mindless demon that's arguably the physically strongest in its place, more than just locking him up like a carnal Pokemon, pretty much, yeah. Like, all you can really do is wrap chains around him. You can't really like beat him physically. It's not really gonna do much to him, you know. Perturabo knows Angron will only answer to dominance. That's true. That's very true. You gotta beat him first for him to like respect you at all.
Path had disgusted him once. The price for immortality. It is such a heavy thing to carry hate in your heart. It's like a poison. But what else did he have in this universe? Above the place of his birth, after decades, with nothing left except the joy of war, KHARN fell, pledging himself to his father's new master. Blood for the blood god. Skulls for the skull throne.
The Archmagos
Prince of
reforged
Blood.
poor child. Now, he has reforged me. I will wear the red, the brass, the bronze, fresh from the armory, and turned by my own hand, though I am no devourer. I spit on Taruga and all the rest. Our Primarch is a newborn creature of the warp, a prince of blood. He needs no protection that legionaries can offer. Rather, I am sanctified in the colors that are said to most
I just put the perfect 211 video for the World Eaters in Discord, a funny short for after this, maybe.
Myself.
Yeah, Andrew, if you want,
Many
I'll
of
tell you
my
what, send that to
brothers
my
have
Discord,
followed
like
my
my Discord,
example,
straight up.
Even as they follow me now
You can check that out
on
after.
the field of war. The brain fire
Just to make it
keeps
easier to
our
find for
blood
me.
hot. With every swing of our blades, we anoint the icy ground before us. We will walk the eightfold path. We will wear the mantle of the Caeda Eremissum, even though the Primarch forbade it. We will rebel, just as he rebelled. We will kill not because we are ordered to, but because we live for it. Blood and pain and nothing more. This last edition is the purest form of worship I
It's on
can
the
imagine.
Discord video recommendations? Okay, I'll go
Glowing
check
bright
that.
and crimson in the corner of my visor display. It is a calming counterpoint to the nail's fierce tick, tick, tick. Val Kereda knows me well indeed. A tally, a measure of my skill, and a tether for my soul. The others may do as they wish, but I will not lose myself. I will not become like our Primarch. This is
That's
no
good, though.
brotherly contest of old. These are my offerings to the Blood God. By the count of their skulls will I prove my worth,
Well,
for they are
see,
all I have to offer in place of my own.
Yikes.
before each new battle's ending. To Kelly, Horgan Prime, the
Blood and pain and
all
nothing more.
3 of its moons. Stenner, the orbital cities over Polyax. Another world whose name I forget. Nebe 6, Nebe 2, Deluge, and so on and on to the hallowed throne world itself. I am not.
But now KHARN saw the circle complete. He saw what 7 years of total war had done to the Imperium. He saw what its warriors had been turned into. He had a vision. Even then, in the midst of the most strenuous and lung-bursting fighting he had ever
KHARN is truly my favorite character.
of
KHARN's a
thousands of
badass, bro.
warriors in this very mold, marching out from fortresses of unremitting bleakness, every one of them.
That
as
is true,
unyielding
yeah.
and so
Yeah, that is true, Dagenhart. You did miss that fight again by about 5 minutes straight up. Yeah, we actually did just straight up listen to that like already tonight. We were actually talking about how like iconic it is and how great it is to watch again. Just Erebus get the fucking shit kicked out of him. I love it, man.
of unremitting bleakness, every one of them, as unyielding and soul-dead, and fanatical as this one, never giving up. Not because of any positive cause in which they believed, but because they had literally forgotten how to seed ground. And he saw then how powerful that could be, and how long it would last, and what fresh miseries it would bring to a galaxy already reeling under the hammer of anguish without limits. And then he, even KHARN the Faithful, shuddered to his call.
I am not.
He fought on, not out of wild desperation, because this could not be allowed to go unopposed. This could not be countenanced.
This
There
is
was
pretty
still
sad, it
pleasure.
is.
There was still heat, and honor, and the relish of a kill well made. But it would all be drowned by this cold flood if not staunched here, on Terra, where their kind had first been made, where the great spectacle of hubris had been kicked off. He had to stand. He had to resist, for humanity, for a life lived with passion, for the glorious pulse of pain, of sensation, of something.
I am not.
He panted, his vision going now, his hands losing their grip.
As damaged.
The black sword came at him, again and again. It was impossible. This way of fighting, too perfect, too uncompromising, without a thread of pity, without a kernel of remorse.
God
He never
damn.
even saw the killing strike. The sword edge hurled at him, with all the weight of emptiness, the speed of eternity, so magnificent in its nihilism, that even the great god within him could only watch it come. Thus was KHARN cut down.
Fuck.
He was dispatched in silence, cast to the earth with a frigid disdain, hacked and stamped down into the ashes of civilization, his throat crushed, his skull
Fuck, so
broken
is he
and
dead?
chest caved in. He was fighting even as his limbs were cut
Fuck.
into bloody stumps,
Damn.
even as the reactor in his warp-thrumming armor died out, raging and thrashing to the very end. But by then that was not enough. The last thing he saw, on that world at least, was the great dark profile of his slayer, the Black Templar, turning his immaculate blade tip down and making ready to end the last bout the two of them would ever fight.
Oh.
Not as damaged.
Gasped KHARN, in an agony greater than anything the nails could have ever given him, but with more awareness of lucid cruelty of the universe than he had ever possessed before.
As you.
And then the sword fell, and his god left him,
God damn.
amid the ruins of his ancient home.
Fuck. Cut down on Terra, man. Wow. That was brutal. And to know that, like, KHARN got cut down on such a way. Holy shit. He gets resurrected by KHARN. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure he was still kicking, right? Because he is a champion of chaos, right? Pretty sure, like, in the modern 40k setting, he's straight up just a champion of chaos. That motherfucker can't die because he's just so good at his job, like, straight up. Like, you know, like, he can always go out there and get more bodies to repay that tax, that resurrection tax that he has to pay, you know? KHARN's not leaving his favorite mortal be dead forever? Yeah, literally, bro. Yeah. Shit. Walks it off? Damn. That's the thing I like about KHARN. He actually loses a lot, but the second time he comes back, they rarely win again or land hits they did in the first duel. Wow. Currently smoking L-sheeters myself. Figured Erebus would get something he doesn't deserve. I was probably there for it. And I'll remember when I'm not half asleep, half baked. Yeah, bro, I understand. Yeah, no, the very first time we checked it out. We've checked out that video about three times. We checked out the DQVO video about it as well. So we've seen the fight probably about 4 times now, 4 different iterations of the fight, let's say, which is pretty cool. It's again, it makes you smile each time watching it. It's fucking great to see. He's the mortal champion of KHARN. Oh.
Terror burned. Titanic arms.
So does that mean like he basically is
truly encompassed the
so is he still mortal, or does that just mean like he is himself mortal in a sense, you know?
Near total night permanently. The world had
whereas like a demon can't really die per se.
KHARN had taken his
well, they can,
small steps down a path of corruption over centuries. It is only when you look back
twice during and after the Argo fit. True. 4 times.
He had pledged himself to the eightfold path, to KHARN, following in his father's footsteps. Dark power swelled within him. KHARN was already amongst the deadliest warriors across the Imperium, but now he was more. His strength grew exponentially. KHARN, even before the nails, enjoyed battle. But with chaos pulsing through his veins, he loved it. The euphoria of slaughter, of proving his strength was greater, feeling the warm blood splash on his skin.
Damn.
He knew deep down that he was broken. He had promised not to lose.
He goes in there without armor, bro.
But those words were hollow, and the power he had gained was incredible.
Yeah, it's like a heroin addict. I'm not going to do it again.
And give strength to others. But this was not his strength. It was someone else's power. KHARN joined the ground assault.
He's mortal, a demon can be banished. I got you. That makes more sense.
Thousands of warriors
the Lionsgate spaceport, oh no.
Friends and veterans killed each other.
We're gonna see some custodies here.
KHARN and the World Eaters flung themselves upon the defending Imperial fists.
Imperial fists, okay.
Personally cleaving down dozens of Dawn's finest sons.
Damn.
The raving berserkers were lost to the nails and penetrated deep into the loyalist lines until he was confronted by Sigismund. His once friend.
Yeah.
His once friend must have been shocked by what had become of the once
I do like these like after the fact narrations that he does.
The Great Crusade. How far
like how he explains kind of what's happening, right?
The two once brothers of war launched themselves at each other. Sigismund's martial skill was incredible.
I guess that does theoretically answer the question, though, of like who would win in a fight, Sigismund or KHARN, and it is definitely, well, at least as of this point, it was Sigismund, but who knows, right? Like what time in the warp training, more killing could have potentially done, right? Like, you know, there's the potential to gain a lot more experience with chaos than you ever could as just a mortal in the in real space, we should say. So it's like, fuck, I feel like maybe in modern 40k things could be potentially different. Hard to say.
At each other. Sigismund's
KHARN won the
martial
first fight.
Skill was incredible. Something they had bonded over in the countless duels they had fought over the years. But with the strength of a dark god pumping through him, KHARN began to overpower Dawn's champion. It was like defending against tank shell.
It's hard to say, man.
As Gorchard
it's very hard to say.
Sigismund's defenses, KHARN was moments away from delivering the death blow, But Sigismund was saved thanks to Rogel Dawn.
I think
who
current
smashed him
KHARN
off the
probably
walls.
takes it. He's gotten really
KHARN
strong since the
survived,
siege. That's what I'm
much to the
saying.
delight of his patron
Like
god.
KHARN
The siege
modern
of
is
terror
fucking
progressed
crazy,
for the
right? Like
traitors.
straight up. At least if it's
Months of
tabletop
endless
effects or anything
battles
to
for every inch of ground.
indicate that.
Humanity was fighting for its very existence, and the fight had devolved into a disorganized mess as bands of chaos-corrupted traitors roamed the rubble and ruins of the once jewel of the Imperium. KHARN found himself blacking out, awakening days or even weeks later from the rampage of the Nails.
That's
He
crazy.
had truly become a beast,
Days or
simply
weeks during
roaming
the
for
siege of
prey,
Terra.
though he was enjoying himself. A man with no humanity had
And
no
he's just blacking
capacity
out for it.
regret or mercy. KHARN and the traitors closed in on the Imperium's innermost sanctums. The World Eaters in KHARN were simply a roaming rabble. Like packs, they swept through the streets, seeking out any skulls they could offer to the Skull Throne. After months of unending victories, he was once again confronted by Sigismund, now adorned in black armor, wielding an equally dark sword. The two legends clashed again, chain axe grinding against the black steel. The mad, corrupted KHARN against the calm Emperor's champion.
That's what I like
The
to
two
see, man.
tapped into the world of unspoken understanding that lies within combat, revealing the inner core of each
Sigismund
warrior.
during his fucking badass
something
phase,
was
he was
wrong.
always a badass, let's be
KHARN
honest,
was a
but
blazing hot
he starts
fury.
donning this
He was
armor.
the flames of hatred,
Fuck.
but he felt nothing from Sigismund. He was empty. As the legendary figures clashed amongst the blood, fire and smoke, they were even. How could this be? KHARN had surrendered himself to Khorne for his father, to have power like his father. He had damaged himself for power, but
Yeah.
Sigismund matched him, even with his dark god flooding power into his veins.
That's fucking
He
crazy.
started to be pushed back. Sigismund was cold, uncaring, a razor-sharpened thing.
Sigismund doesn't give a
KHARN
fuck.
knew now he was fighting this affront to humanity. He now knew Sigismund had been damaged more than him. Even with his dark god screaming through him, KHARN was powerless, and his once friend plunged the black sword through his chest.
Fuck.
The boy from Terra faded from this world, dying upon the sands, with not a single person to mourn his loss. Pity the man
Isn't
with
that sad,
nothing
man?
to love or be loved.
Because they just don't care about
KHARN
each other
died,
anymore.
A hollow shell of the man he had once been.
Yeah.
But the blood god was not done with him yet.
Nope. KHARN, your service is not yet
The
done.
flamer is bulky and unfamiliar in my grip.
The weakness of
and
others.
far heavier than my holstered pistol. Half-remembered rote training.
I will say, though, it is fucking awesome to see that Sigismund fight with KHARN again. At least hear about it again, because, like, goddamn, brutal fight. KHARN goes out in a fucking very excruciating way there. And it really does just show the prowess of Sigismund, how cold, calculating he is, but he's also calm. He's not losing himself to the combat like KHARN is so prone to do after the nails have been implemented, right? And it just goes to show the weakness, the impediment that the nails have on you, and the fact that even though you're chaos imbued, you know, it's sometimes not enough. It's not enough at all. Like, he's an extremely based character. I fucking love Sigismund. I love the Templars in general, man. You know me. They were kind of my first Warhammer love, I guess, you know, after seeing Hell's Reach. That was something else entirely. Hell's Reach is a fantastic work and really just gave me some love for the Black Templars that I feel like I've been able to maintain throughout. You know what I'm saying? They just are an awesome chapter for sure. Sigismund and the Black Templars that came after him, all chaining their weapons to their wrists, because of KHARN would be a fact that could make the entire chapter have a seizure at once. True. Like, knowing the origins of where exactly that came from, yeah, I could imagine that would turn some heads for sure. Be fucking very weird to explain. Gotta love Sev, yeah. In the Sigismund novel, it is shown that the Emperor had chosen Sigismund to being his champion and far more. Jesus, get the hiccups. What do you mean by far more? I guess like Sigismund, what's implied by it, right? Like Sigismund was chosen for fucking very great things, and he went out and did those great things. His deeds are fucking countless, even before the time of the Siege of Terra. So like the fact that he's named Emperor's champion, and then, you know, he goes out there and he continues to be a badass, kind of forms his own chapter in a sense, you know. Crazy fucking shit. So maybe the Emperor did know that there was more for him there.
The flamer is bulky.
Also got the White Templars and Red Templars? I didn't know about that.
Far heavier than my holstered pistol. Half-remembered rote training guides my hand. Open the reservoir. Adjust the ignition angle. Thumb the safety and squeeze the trigger. From within, there are more screams, and the reports of unspent bolt rounds detonating in their magazines.
Damn.
The heat of the flame drives steam from the frozen earth all around. Movement. The crash of an unarmored body falling to the ground.
And the Silver Templars, but they're Ultramarines.
Frantic.
Really?
Hefting the flamer in my offhand, I swing Gorechild in a wide arc. My timing is perfect. The shrieking teeth of the chain axe greet the burning man in the instant that he emerges from the archway, cleaving through armored gorget, meat and bone. His head strikes the floor before he would have registered the fresh pain of the blow.
Fuck.
The tally reading in my visor scores the kill. 1,302. A small red skull icon flashes next to it.
That's fucking hilarious. They have a tally icon in their visor? Bro, what?
I do not know who receives the
Bro's
data.
keeping track of his kills.
All I know is that my kills are always waiting for me when I return. Fresh skulls, jumbled into heaps at my arming post. None shall surpass my count this day. The main causeway is tremendous underfoot. The blood which before had run freely upon the flagstones.
Highly recommend looking at
now
the post-Heresy
freezing in the
Legion
plummeting
Wars.
Temperatures of the Scalathrax
Nothing but the
night.
Chaos Legions beating the crap out of each other
Orphos
post Siege
ride
of
the
Terra.
arm
That
the
sounds
fallen,
pretty good, actually.
Marked with the darker patches of Cinnabar where Gorechild had done his work. True enough, I have never known cold like it. Not the deep cold of the tundra on Gedron 5, nor the icy gales that scorned the mountain passes on Tekeli. This is a cold which
KHARN has a
burns
tally
and
count.
bites.
That's pretty
A
badass.
cold which threatens to steal
Now,
away the fire.
I wonder if it's kind of like on a car. You know how like on a car you got like the you got like your trip odometer, and then you have like your current. You got like two settings, right? You got like your current that you're on, and then like your next one for like an oil change. Like that's like your big one. I wonder if he's got one for like his current battles, and then like his total like across all battles. You know what I'm saying? I think that'd be really fucking funny to learn. He probably does, straight up. He's got to know like his current kill count for this battle to know how he like averages out with all of his other ones, you know? Fuck, there's actually some math involved.
A cold which threatens to steal away the fire inside. But not from me. Victory or death. The sons of Angron will never again know defeat.
All I remember is that it's over 1 million now. Holy fuck.
Our foes will fall.
1 million
or we
for
will
one
offer
guy is
ourselves to
insane.
KHARN in their stead. To the west, the kneeing of another sonic attack echoes in the darkness.
That's fucking
My boots
efficiency.
skid upon the loose debris as I double backwards towards the sound, the rage building within me once more. Fulgrim may have forsaken them, but his bastard children shall pay the price. For it too late, I spot the ambush. Time slows. The shadows around me erupt in a blaze of bolter fire. Shells detonating and peppering the flesh of my bare arm with shrapnel. In the millisecond before I leap,
KHARN's 40
3
tally
shooters
count gave up at
and
infinity
another
twice?
concealed
Seriously?
figure.
Is that
My
canon?
pistol is in my hand before I leave the ground. And a burst
Believe he got the
of
million
incandescent
shortly after the
plasma
Siege of
vaporizing
Terra.
the head
Fuck.
of the nearest attacker.
That's
I
early
momentary
too then. That's
regret over
crazy.
The loss of the skull. 1,303. A stray bolt strikes my breastplate, sending my leap wide and forcing me to dispatch the concealed warrior with an improvised backhand strike.
Damn.
I whirl around to cleave through the bolt gun of the third before slamming him insensibly to the floor and hurling Gorechild to the left. The chain axe bites deep into the throats of the last legionary. and arterial blood strikes the vaulted roof of the arcade. 1305. The rage fades. I stand over the prone warrior as he scrabbles to find a weapon. Words, anger. His face is familiar to me. Gruner. Backed into a corner amongst the bodies of our fallen brethren.
That's fucked up.
He speaks of madness and of betrayal. He curses me. The berserker champion.
That was the guy who trained him, right?
His own legionary once more.
Welp, master. Who are you to doubt me? I was the first to stand upon the walls of the Imperial Palace. I was the last to be borne away from terror, my body broken by the slaying of 1 million of the Emperor's lackeys through the breach at Lion's Gate.
Fuck.
None shall ever surpass
Wait,
my
it was
count.
just 1 million at the
contest
Lion's
is
Gate
over.
battle? What the fuck?
I won.
Holy
the weakness
shit.
of others is the reason we were defeated. Weakness in the
That's
other
fucking
legions
crazy.
and our own. If this is all that remains of the honor of the World Eaters, then I am glad to be called their betrayer.
The betrayer. Yeah, you got the 1 million on Terra. Yeah, straight up the 1 million on Terra. That's fucking crazy, bro. That is actually fucking insane.
Died upon Terra, the boy who had given up a normal life to sail the stars and conquer the galaxy for the Imperium of
It only counts
mankind.
close
He
combat kills,
endured
not
the
shot
pain
victims.
of the
Holy
surgeon's
shit.
knife, transforming into
I wonder
a
what it actually is then.
altered in body and mind. As a young neophyte, he trained under Gruner, who taught him the heritage of heart of his new home, the Warhounds Legion. The contest, the first one to reach 1,000 skulls, wins. A brutal legion's pledge to the galaxy. They knew what they were. They were conquerors who enjoyed the strength and brotherhood of war. They swore oaths to the Emperor and each other. An oath of moment. KHARN had grown into a deadly warrior who flourished under the Legion's teachings and was admired by all, especially for his easy, straightforward
Those are
nature.
Vox amps in his
How
helm
could
that
you not
amplify the war
respect this
scream and pour
charismatic
blood. Oh
figure?
fuck.
KHARN
Just for
loved
like
his
intimidation
legion
factors, it's kind
and
of
the
like
brotherhood
Blackbeard,
he
how he'd
shared
like
with
light,
them.
like
And this very
wicks on his
pride
beard,
saved his life
give off that
when
effect.
he came face to face with his Primarch.
Just something for intimidation.
And on the edge of death, the broken Primarch Angron was about to kill him, but KHARN was smiling. His pride in his brotherhood shone from the lips
Fox
of
in the
man
Void
on
video called
edge
The Wrath of
death.
KHARN covers this
The
battle.
warrior
Okay.
spirit within
We'll have to
KHARN
check that for
shone through,
sometime.
and
We
it
got a lot of
proved
Vox
to
in the Void
Angron there
videos
was
queued up,
something
apparently.
worthy within the 12th Legion. KHARN
Which is good. I love his
finally
content,
had
man.
His Primarch,
Love his content.
his blood sire, and gave him his undying loyalty. But the mental shackles we place upon ourselves diminish strength. KHARN was strong, but he was also weak when it came to his father. He was not willing to betray in his ideal of what Angron could be, nor betray the brotherhood he felt for his Primarch, and it would cost him everything. The man who once valued brotherhood over everything fell down a path that caused him to spill
All
his
Marines had
brother's
that,
blood.
not
He
intimidation.
even had
Could
the
burst your
butcher's
ears and
nails
rupture organs.
hammered
Oh fuck,
into his
okay.
head,
Damn.
submitting himself to mind-numbing headaches, only giving relief in the midst of blood-pumping combat. Though he told himself he had to follow this path, to shed weakness, to perform his duty to his Primarch.
Honest question here, because I've noticed this a few times, right, on a couple of the different World Eaters. What are these like braids that they kind of have like coming off their helmet here? What exactly are those? What do those represent? I'm assuming they got to be something, right? I'm just not too sure what. I've seen them on a few warriors before. Are they just like obviously aesthetic purposes, but like what is the actual like purpose behind them? What does it represent? You know what I'm saying? Trophies? Is that what it is? Like the braids? Because I know that's like kind of like a thing for certain cultures, right? Or back in the day, it used to be like collect their fucking braids, right? And that was the thing. Only KHARN has those. It's a decoration thing. Okay. Scalps, decorations, simply that. Okay, gotcha.
Khan
I just
was
wanted to
no
know if it was
fool,
like actually
and he
something
saw
behind
the
them or if it
decay
was
of
like purely
brotherhood
just like a
over
cosmetic
decades,
thing. That's fair.
even participating in it for his Primarch.
If you see those, it's
and
usually
his
KHARN. I
legion.
gotcha.
After 2 centuries of conflict, the Warhounds have been turned into something unrecognizable, something the other legions had begun to see. Khan and the legion were undisciplined and resentful.
Skulls of
to
a
an
Xeno
emperor that
pygmy
had
race,
allowed
okay.
them to become butchers. A resentment that conflicted with their loyalty to their Primarch. They were a legion falling apart. Khan and his so-called brothers fighting against the Nails and losing. Khan once again,
Who could have seen that coming?
weak to his Primarch's will, followed him into rebellion, losing his mind to the Nails as he slaughtered his previous battle brothers.
For
and
collection,
friends
KHARN
upon
has a
the
pile of
fields
skulls stacked
Isfahan
next to
III.
KHARN's pile of
I
skulls.
am
Oh
the
fuck.
Eightfold Path. Words that Khan
He's
began
competing
to
with
scream
fucking
as his
KHARN
mind
himself,
was
bro.
lost
That's
to
crazy.
rage and bloodlust. Words that came from something dark, a spectre that had followed him his whole life. An Ashura's path Khan walked. His humanity was melting away as he kept doing the things Angron asked of him. It even cost him a possible path to salvation for his brothers, as his own feelings of shame and guilt caused him to murder Caliston, and the path to sanity. As the Horus heresy raged, Khan and the World Eaters descended further and further into depravity, and countless innocents died at their hands.
Yeah.
Argyltal asked him why he tolerated his path, his Primarch. It is our shame to bear before the other legions, brother. Angron was broken long before he ever reached us. Why do you think we let him beat the
Wanting
nails
a
into our
validation of
heads?
Angron led them to
We hoped
damnation.
that
Exactly.
by breaking
That's what I'm
ourselves
saying.
upon the same anvil, we'd finally feel unity with our father.
Very, very true.
And it didn't work. As the flames of hatred grew within him, Argyltal kept him tethered to the last
For
vestiges of
perspective,
his
KHARN's
humanity
pile is built
and
on his
brotherhood.
own. KHARN's
But his
pile is
friend
built by
was
all of his
murdered,
followers. That's fucking
snapping
crazy.
the last piece of nobility
He's just that
within him.
goated.
He became more of a beast.
Imagine being
and
able to
moved
compete
with
like
a
that. That's
strength
fucking
and
crazy.
speed beyond any mortal. As a man with no friends or brothers, and with the events of the Shadow Crusade, Khan had one thing left: his Primarch. Even if he had become a monster. Once
Like at the end of
again,
Cry
that
Havoc,
weakness
they only wanted his
flourished,
approval.
and he
Exactly
followed
like that,
him
yeah.
into the embrace of the war.
Like you see them
For
in Cry Havoc, I will say on that. In Cry Havoc, you do see them ask, like, why? Why do you do this to us? Why have you turned on us, you know? And Angron straight up tells them, like, yeah, you're all a bunch of bitches. I never wanted you to accept it. You know, you should have been better, kind of thing. And it's just like, what the fuck? You know, it's so sad to see. But yes, their want for approval of Angron, even though it was never obtainable for them, unfortunately to say, that's what ultimately led to the demise of their legion. Straight up, yeah, 100%.
flourished, and he followed him into the embrace of the warp. For Khorne, Khan died upon Terra, the place of his birth, confounded with the fact that he had chosen power, his one benefit to this path, and yet it meant nothing in the face of strength.
Literally.
Sigismund's strength.
Literally.
Khan awoke following the siege
Depressing,
of
isn't
Terra,
it?
resurrected by his dark patron. As the traitors left Terra in defeat, they spread to the corners of the galaxy. At the Battle of Scalthralax, between the Emperor's children and the World Eaters, Khan and the remnants of the World Eaters' legions advanced stalled under a storm cold enough to kill an Hastati. Khan became disgusted at their weakness and committed the final act upon his doomed path. He went from camp to camp and murdered everyone he came across.
What the fuck?
Enemy and brother alike.
Why?
It had come full
Oh,
circle.
man.
He'd even struck down Gruner, his once mentor,
Oh, yeah.
freeing himself
Okay.
from his last
That's the
weakness,
context behind all that. Okay.
loyalty, and completing the contest of old.
That makes sense.
Wherever the name Khan is echoed, fear and dread follows. The champion of the blood god is a hateful,
That's fucked.
fury-driven thing.
So he
that
gets
exists
reawoke and he's
only
like,
to
fuck
revel
it,
in
we're instantly
slaughter
starting this
and
off.
Death. Khan the man is dead, a corrupted beast that calls out for blood. For
KHARN the
blood
Betrayer
god
has
is
arrived,
all
yeah.
that remains. Pity the man whose humanity has fallen to oblivion.
Wow.
There
Oblivion.
is nothing left to say now. Cherished dreams slip into nothingness as they float away upon the sea of change towards the far horizon. Quietly surrendered, beyond sight, beyond touch, fading softly with the dying of the sun. There is nothing left to say now. Everything comes to an end, and we all flounder in the darkness like lost children, with no hand to hold, no place to go, no new tomorrows. There is nothing left to say now. No more songs to sing, nor stories to tell. No dawns, no sunsets in this new time, as the light is forever extinguished, and naught else remains but oblivion.
That goes hard. Wow. Holy shit.
Of earth
Oh, it's still going.
absolves our eyes, till beauty shines in all that we can see. War is our scourge, yet war has made us wise. And fighting for our freedom, we are free. Horror of wounds and anger at the foe, and loss of things desired.
I like this
All
reading at the
these
end here.
must
This is
pass.
cool.
We are the happy legion, for we know times.
Yeah, have yourself a good night, Cellectra. It was good, or Cellectra. It was good to have you tune in there. I appreciate that, eh? You have yourself a good rest of your night.
Locked apart from life we long to share no less than others. Now, having claimed this heritage of heart, what need we more, my comrades and my brothers? All our strength, our will,
Damn.
has the power to shape worlds. Yet, it is kept in check, restrained by our beliefs, our doubt. Everyone is made up by the events of their past.
This is really cool. I'm really liking this.
Around one spirit, or breaks such walls down. The mind makes some powerless and gives strength to others. Because we are not ready to give up our ties or codes, we surrender ourselves. We become slaves to teachings and belief. That is why belief will always rule you. To truly believe in an ideal, you must be willing to betray it, not to follow it so dogmatically. That is the lesson of strength. And as sure as path,
Keep psyching me out.
are a sad creature that cannot live without fighting, and the shadows of hatred flicker within your eyes. And for what? For wealth, ego, anger, unprincipled nature, power. Always desiring to be superior to others. Having no patience for your supposed inferiors, and belittling strangers. Like a hawk flying high above and looking down on others. Without strength or purpose to guide you, you only fan the flames of hatred.
Damn.
You can see it, can't you? In your mind.
This is a very powerful, like, final reading, man. Holy shit.
The beast that calls out for oblivion, pulling you further from your humanity, from your sense. There is nothing left to say now. Cherished dreams slip into nothingness as they float away upon the sea of change, towards the far horizon. Quietly surrendered, beyond sight, beyond touch, fading softly with the dying of the sun. There is nothing left to say now. Everything comes to an end, and we all flounder in the darkness like lost children with no hand to hold, no place to go, no new tomorrows. There is nothing left to sing, no more songs to sing, no stories to tell, no dawns, no sunsets in this new time. As the light is forever extinguished, and naught else remains but oblivion.
Fuck, that goes really hard. Holy shit. I want to give give credit to that like final little scene there. That was fucking. That was oops. Oh my god, no. No! No! Take me back! Take me back!
The Gallic.
Oh, we're at 18 minutes now. That was a cool little final reading there. That was oh, and my YouTube's glitching out. That was KHARN the Betrayer, 40k lore by, of course, the Amber King, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what the fuck is going on with my YouTube right now. I might need to close this tab and reopen it real quick. Let me just do something real quick. I don't know why Opera's been having a stroke lately. There we go. Now it's working. Okay. Opera has been having a stroke lately. I apologize about that. That was the KHARN the Betrayer 40k lore by the Amber King, ladies and gentlemen. That was a great video. I love checking that out. That was awesome to see. And KHARN the Betrayer, I know obviously a lot of you guys have been recommending him for a long time. He's your boy, you know what I'm saying? And it's easy to see why. He's a complicated character. He is a killing machine for sure. He is just a badass killing machine for sure, but he is very complex. He does have those relationships with people, and when Argyle dies, man, you can really see it affects him very, very deeply in a negative way. And he kind of like goes full into the whole power cycle, right? Like he doesn't really care anymore. He feels like he's already like, you know, given up so much, he can't be redeemed. He might as well go full circle with it and try to at least please somebody if he can't please Angron, you know? They are very, very loyal, the World Eaters, but they're loyal to the idea that their father might appreciate them. And obviously Angron, he never comes to, he doesn't really care about them. He doesn't care about their lives. It sucks to see, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I think he's a really, really cool character, and I think he is just a badass of the 40k universe, 30k universe, and 40k universe now, I suppose. And the fact that he's still out there just getting skulls for the skull for the skull throne and blood for the blood god, man. He's still out there like racking up a fucking tally that can compete with KHARN himself. That shit is fucking nasty to me. That is so fucking badass, bro. Like, goddamn, you know, it's something else entirely. I thought that was really, really good. Make sure you guys, of course, leave a like on this video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and come on down, join our Discord. I know we were gonna, as I said, we were gonna check out some other stuff here real quick. Let's see here. Fear, you sent me some pictures from the, what was it, the Dornian heresy, is that correct? And also some concept art of the female Primarchs here. Let's show this off real quick here. Let's show this off real quick here. So this is from the Dornian heresy? Lionel heresy. Okay, Lionel heresy. Look at that, dude. Fuck. Holy shit. Oh, wow. Yeah, look at that. The heretic style armor. Bro, that looks fucking crazy. Oh, look at fucking Sanguinius there, bro. That looks fucking nuts, man. Wow. Holy shit. It's so cool to see like these what ifs. Oh shit, man. Wow. Holy God. And these are what? These are all the female Primarchs, the sister Primarchs. Oh God. Here we go. Uh-oh. Oh wow. Oh. Oh. Oh no. Welcome to Fierce Fetish. Uh-oh. Oh no. What do you guys think about all that, eh? The female Primarchs. What do you guys think about that? Definitely not the definitely not goon bait, but I could see how that could easily become something of this sort. Holy shit. And then what was it? Andrew, you sent me some stuff, right? You sent me video recommendations. Let's see here real quick. What was it? The World Eater joins the Empire? Is that the one you sent me there, Andrew? I'm pretty sure. Let's see here. 2-minute long animation. Is that the one you were talking about there? Just want to make sure. I didn't see it. Oh, you didn't see any of that? Oh, you can't see it? Really? Really? You guys didn't see any of that? Oh, is it because it's... I see. I think it's because it's trunicated. Oh, it is. Yeah. It's trunicated. Hold up. 1 second. Well, we all know it's fear, so, I mean, there's really no secret here. Let's see here. Okay. Oops. Wrong one. This one. There we go. There you go. Can you guys see this? You guys can see that better now? I think it's because it was trunicated. That's my bad. You guys see that? There you go. Yeah, there you go. Should be able to see now. That's my bad, guys. It's my bad. Yeah, so yeah, look at this. So we got some pictures here from obviously the Lion Heresy, right? Looks fucking badass. Again, I was showing those off a second ago. Apologies for anyone that was there, didn't see that. That's my bad. I forgot about that. Discord auto trunicates stuff here. We obviously know it's a sphere, so it's no secret here. Got those pictures there, those illustrations, and then obviously the female Primarchs. Take a look at that, right? Fucking, I don't know, bro. That's like some Uncanny Valley shit, isn't it? Isn't that some Uncanny Valley shit straight up? Look at that. Look at this. Oh god. I'm pretty sure which one is it? This one. Yeah, this is the Angron. Female Angron, bro. Oof. That's a note from me, dog. Yeah, I don't know, bro. Very strange to me. Very strange to me. I can see the merit for sure, but bro, I don't think that's for me. No, sir. No, sir. Big O. Yeah. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Yikes. But yeah, the next one, Andrew, you sent that's the one. Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure that's the correct one here. All right, but yes, guys, I want to make sure that credit is due. Obviously, that was KHARN the Betrayer 40k lore by the Amber King. If you guys haven't gone over there, left a like on this video, gave it the love it deserves, there's a link in the description. Make sure you go down there and click on that. Go check out the Amber King's video, the original video here, and give it some love because he definitely deserves the work on it, or the appreciation on it for sure. They put a lot of work into that. I can't even imagine how much time that takes them to put one of those together. So holy shit, go give them the appreciation they deserve. But now we are going to be going on to World Eater Joins the Empire. This is a short little animation recommended over by Andrew there. Appreciate that. Space Lycan. Haven't heard of this video yet before. We're going to reserve the like for now. We're going to watch it first. It's no discontent on the video, but I haven't heard of this channel yet. We're going to see what it's all about. Yeah. World Eater Joins the Empire. I wonder what this could possibly look like. Obviously, some Star Wars here. Haven't heard of this channel. Haven't heard anything about this before. So, yeah, I'm excited to check it out, guys. I like strong women, not swole. Yeah, dude, that's just it, right? Like, listen, I got no problem with a woman with a bit of muscle on her. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind that. I'm not going to complain, right? But I would rather she not be fucking, you know, fucking bodybuilder-esque. You know what I'm saying? That shit. I mean, listen, I'm not going to complain at the end of the day, but you know, personal preference, I guess. Personal preference. If you have the option, you know, slim, tone, fit, not fucking muscle roided, you know what I'm saying? That's a little too much for me. 98% muscle, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it just doesn't look on a female. And again, maybe this is just like, you know, my fucking oh god, what's the word for it? My mansplaining fucking speaking, but you know, it just doesn't look natural on a woman. You know what I'm saying? To have like fucking 98% muscle mass, it just doesn't look it doesn't look right, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong with muscle. Obviously, women can have muscle and women can wear muscle really, really good and attractive and natural looking way. But when you got fucking biceps out to fucking like 4 inches long and you're a woman, bro, that's not natural. Like you're doing something else, you know? There's no way that's real. That's all I'm saying, right? Wait till you see Fulgrim and Cynreius. Oh god. Yeah, no, I can only imagine what that looks like. Holy shit. Scantily clad, let's say. It's got some junk, but it's funny. You need to watch the whole Star Wars 40k crossover series from Space Lycan. Wow, let's start it off here. Let's see if we enjoy it. 2 minutes, 2 seconds long, captions on. Quality is good, full screen. Let's check it out here right now, guys. 2 minutes long.
Thank you for coming, and congratulations on being the first
animation
to apply
quality already
to
looks
the
good.
Imperial Military as a part of our new recruitment program. So please, introduce yourself.
I am one of the Eaters of Worlds, a servant of the Skull Throne, bane of the Corpse
Holy
Emperor,
shit.
and his rotting imperium. Blood for the Blood God.
Right. Well, can you
Pretty
tell me
much.
about your prior
Right.
experience?
For the last 10 millennia, my brothers and I have been the nightmares of the weak. We crusaded across the galaxy, leaving shattered worlds.
He's going
in
too
our
far with
wake.
it, bro. This
We
is the Empire.
slaughtered
They don't
the
care about all
galaxy's
that.
greatest warriors, its
They're gonna think
most
you're a psychopath.
savage beasts, the most grotesque monstrosities, and the innocent alike, gorging ourselves on their blood.
Oh my god.
Blood for the Blood God.
Wow.
Yeah,
You
pretty
really weren't
much.
saying that. Okay. How well would you say you follow authority?
I split my last commander in two and use his skull to drink the blood of my enemies.
I'm afraid to ask you how you treat your subordinates.
I ate them.
You ate them. Where'd they find this guy?
Literally.
All right, I've heard enough. And I
How did he
don't
get
think
here,
I want
even?
to see a demonstration of your abilities.
Demonstration, very well. Blood for the Blood God.
Wait, that's
Oh,
not
no.
necessary.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
oh, oh,
Oh.
oh. Wait, he's not gonna. Oh, he is. Oh, he's drinking his blood. Oh my god, I think I just puked.
So do I have the job?
Holy shit.
You think I'm gonna say no to you after seeing that display? You have the job, so please
the fuck?
just leave.
Ah.
I need therapy.
Like literally, bro. After that, man, you'd straight up need therapy looking
I
at
wanna
that
see
shit.
it.
There's no way you're about to just like fucking watch all that. Watch what that fucking world eater is gonna do to your boys and just like walk away unscathed mentally. Like that would be fucking horrific to see, bro. But yeah, how are you gonna say no to him? Like, yeah, no, you don't get the job. Like he's gonna go and fucking kill that entire Star Destroyer, and you know damn well he will. Holy shit. That was pretty good. Definitely gonna leave a like on that. You know what? Fuck it. We'll subscribe as well. I gotta check out a little bit more of that sometime for sure. Only 2 minutes long. They're nice little shorts. Nice little shorts. You know, just check out here and there. That's not bad at all. That was definitely pretty good. Pretty good for sure. Holy shit, Hobbit. Thank you. 10 gifted memberships. Holy shit. Appreciate that, Hobbit. You guys best be giving your thanks. Holy shit. Got a lot of guys back in there. Hurtin' Albertan, good to see you back. Loneliest Crab, good to see you back too. Holy shit. Thank you, Hobbit. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot, man. Holy shit. No, that was good though. I really like that. Animation quality was pretty good too. Came out 2 years ago. Not too bad at all. I'm surprised this guy only has 43,000 subscribers. If you guys enjoyed that, make sure you go over there. Give him some love. Definitely subscribe to his channel. That was pretty impressive, actually. Pretty funny for what it was. Any gaming tonight? Yes, actually. We probably will be doing some gaming tonight. I've been lacking on that lately. Yes, we're probably going to be doing some more Skyrim tonight, if I had to assume. Unless I want to do something else, we'll see. But probably some more Skyrim, if I had to assume. Want to get a little further on that. Yeah, it's... yeah, I woke up at, what was it, like 5:30 today. I woke up like half hour before the stream started. So I'm pretty well rested right now. I might go eat some dinner real quick. Get maybe a brew or two into me. We'll see how I'm feeling. But no, I'm definitely planning on doing a bit of streaming tonight for sure. Definitely want to get some gaming in. We've been lacking behind on Skyrim. I gotta do that more constantly. That's for sure. If we're ever gonna finish that game on hardcore mode. Telling you guys, no fast travel. That definitely slows down the pace of the game. But I do enjoy it a lot. But man, we gotta play it, you know, if we're gonna beat it for sure. But no, guys, I thought that was awesome. That was an awesome stream. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Big thank you to you, Hobbit, for those for that tenor there and that those gifted memberships as well. I really appreciate that, man. That means a lot to me, of course. But yeah, guys, we're probably gonna end the stream off here. I gotta go get some dinner into me. I'm pretty hungry. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't eaten yet. No fast travel is fun. No fast travel is fun. It slows down the game a lot, and you just you notice a lot more stuff, explore a lot more than you normally would otherwise. And you see all the interesting POIs that are scattered throughout Skyrim. There's so many that you just otherwise don't notice, and you just walk right by or fast travel by, and you never come back to. So it's really cool to play Skyrim in that way, because I've never played it with like no fast travel before. So it is something new. I'll give you something to eat. Oh God, I'd rather if you didn't, Dagenhart, but I appreciate your consideration, let's say. Thanks for sorting my sister a membership, Hobbit. Holy shit. Is that the one female viewer we got in here right there? The 1% view. Yeah, no, I appreciate that though. Thank you. But yeah, we're probably gonna end the stream off here, guys. Thank you guys all for tuning in. It really means a lot to me. It's a lot of fun having these streams, these weekly streams, reaction streams with you guys. A lot of fun tuning in with you guys here and checking these out with you guys. And I really can't tell you how much it means to me that you guys continue to support me. You know, this far, and everyone keeps watching along with me. It really does mean a lot to me. So big thank you to all you guys at home for tuning in, right? Being here with me, guys. I wouldn't have this channel up to the point I do now, and I definitely wouldn't be uploading as much as I do if it wasn't for you guys at home supporting me every single day, and you know, inspiring me to keep going forward with YouTube. You know what I'm saying? It's again, being a YouTuber, making content, it was never ever something I saw myself doing. It was never something I saw myself I guess getting into, in the sense of like people would want to watch my content. So it really does mean a lot to me. It really does mean the world to me that you guys are willing to do that for me. And yeah, you guys are awesome. Best community out there, straight up. I appreciate the hell out of you guys. But yeah, guys, without any further delay, big thank you to all of our members, all of our Hastati, our Principes, Dagenhart, and Hobbit, and of course, our Prefect Fear. I appreciate you guys. You guys inspire me to make more content for you guys every single day, of course. And with that, guys, this has been Centurion, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys. And if I don't catch you on the gaming stream later tonight, you guys have a great rest of your night. See ya.